Hey, is it up yet?
It's up. It says live video is starting, but it's still
doing its thing.
doing its thing. Now it's not doing its thing.
No, we're on.
Like
we're live.
Looks like we're live and in
Poor
color.
people. I don't know if we should be in color. I think we're a little pink today.
Well, I think if we turn off these lights, we might be a little less pink. But then we won't be.
Hey, boys and girls.
Hello.
Or whatever.
Whatever. What have you?
Whatever you identify as, we support you. Kind of.
Sort of. No, we do. Of course we do.
We do.
Unless you're a goddamn weirdo, and in which case we'll tell that to your face.
Yeah. But also, what we mean, I think, is like, maybe we have. I think a real friend is somebody who's going to tell you, dude, you got boogers just hanging out of your nose, or whatever. So. Maybe if you're fucked up, your friends are the ones who tell you. My friends, I only make friends with people who will call me out. I don't like you if you don't tell me exactly what you're thinking. Those people make me uncomfortable. We should introduce ourselves.
Hello, I'm Doug.
Hi, I'm Stacy. This is my husband.
And this is Marital Hate.
This is Marital Hate, our
Welcome
little podcast.
to
It
Marital
is
Hate.
live Monday through Friday, and on holidays, we have decided, but we have not done any holidays yet. We just try to, I don't know, bring a little light into the world, make people laugh a little bit. We're just ridiculous. We talk about every topic you can possibly imagine. And, I don't know, we just...
And we have a guest dog
we
every
have a
once
guest
in a while.
dog every once in a while.
And guest owls,
and-
because the owls will make noise once the sun goes down, and in general merriment.
We have all kinds of nonsense. I think I look super washed out, and I think it's because that light's on.
Which light?
But that one,
This one here?
Yeah.
When we turn it off?
presumably, I don't know.
Tell me how you look.
I look ridiculous. I used to be hot. I'm not anymore, and it makes me sad. That's more flattering, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, guys! Okay, we're back. Okay, so
Yeah!
You guys aren't going to believe this. We left the house today.
We did. We left the house today. We even got a little sun.
I'm a little pink. The last time I was a little pink was the day that I had a zit, and I put concealer on, and
And it was...
it became a whole
And it became... It was like... You ended
Because
up
then I
looking
had
like,
this white spot
like
where my
war
zit
paint.
was. So then I tried to put more stuff, and then I was too white.
It was like the Joker.
I am not supposed to be, like, this is the thing. I'm not wearing a bra. I'm not wearing panties. Like, I always look like a mess.
Neither am I.
A couple
Neither
days
am I.
ago, we had to end a podcast soon so I could puke all over the lanai. Like,
Yeah, that was fun.
You can't expect me to look like a human being, much
Look
less like an
or
attractive
behave
human being.
like
Nope,
a
either
human-
one. Nope,
Okay.
can't happen. Can't make you any promises. I will not necessarily be a human being, look like a human being, talk
But
like a human being.
if
I
you
just
were
can't make
well-mannered
promises.
and weren't outrageous, I don't think we'd have any viewers at all.
No.
And then everybody's like, why do I want to watch this
Boring
lady?
people. I mean, I'm sure
she
boring
had
people do
vanilla ice
podcasts all
cream and
fucking
she...
time, but
Yeah. So,
I-
anyways.
But the thing that's interesting, and it's actually something that I've been thinking about in my life, is that, like, you don't know with these podcasts if people are watching to cheer you on,
To laugh at you,
or to laugh
or with
at
you,
you, or
yeah.
laugh with you, kind of thing. And I kind of had that, like, as a theme in my life, but
Yeah. But you don't care.
not really.
Yeah, I mean...
Actually, I was thinking about it today in the car. Because, you know, we were driving a lot today.
Was
Obviously,
that,
we drove around in circles.
was that before or after you were singing along with, ugh, that
She
bitch
nasty.
nasty?
I highly recommend it. That's song of the day right there.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Who's-
Big
look,
Hootie or
Big
Hoo-
Hooch.
Hooch, Big
There's
Hooch.
a song called "Oh She Nasty."
She nasty. It's so funny. Not for
it's-
the kids though.
Not for the
I will
kids,
tell
but
you
much
that.
like this program, you should not let your children listen to this
You
program.
never know what's going to
You
come out
should
of
not
this
listen
one.
to it either. That's how I tell people. I'm like, you should
Don't.
definitely not
Yeah.
listen. It's terrible.
that keeps the audience away and gives us free reign to do what we want to do. And if nobody's
Does it?
watching, we can talk about any of the stuff that happens in this house or stuff that
Well,
comes
we
up.
need people to watch because then there's no other reason to do it. And we like the
true.
interactions.
Yeah,
we
we
like
do.
the people
We
that
do.
watch. We would like more people to watch. We would like people to like and follow and share and do
Yeah.
all the shit that encourages our nonsense. Because you don't encourage our nonsense, we're going to stop having nonsense. And what do you guys need to do on a Thursday night?
But I think people would miss. Sometimes we have a nice sky behind us. Tonight's kind of a nice sky.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's very nice.
So here are some of the lyrics to "Oh She Nasty."
Okay. Lock your ears, kids.
By Big Hooch, which we highly recommend.
Big Hooch.
We found this song by mistake, and then we gave Micah, our friend from
BurgerFi.
we gave him a ride to his friend's house.
And we played it.
And Micah is super cool guy, trans, but like not having any work done, and black, really super nice kid, works really hard, and goes to school, and we just really liked him. So I was like, oh, do you want to ride? Like, you're getting off. Do you want to ride? He's like, yeah, that will be great. So we give him a ride, and this is the song we're playing. He's like, I just got in a Jeep with some old white people, and this is the music they played. And so I played the song, and he goes, oh, I think I've heard that before. So anyway, she a bad bitch, super duper thick. Choke herself, catch her breath, and then swallow that dick. I feel like, wow.
That's a way to open a number right there.
She got a vacuum cleaner mouth, ass like a dump truck. Bust a nut in a cup, and she'll drink that shit up.
Oh, ass like a dump truck.
She nasty. What I like though is the part. There's a couple parts of it that I'm saying, but
I don't even know if we can.
The lyrics to this song are so fucking
read the rest
crazy.
why don't we dissect those lyrics? Let's take a sample
that would
lyric.
Be a whole episode, but you should just know.
What about the part where she does a rope-a-dope?
I like the part when she does a rope-a-dope, but I was thinking about the part where. There's so many lyrics. I think you just need to read them, guys. But
yeah,
I don't know if we can even link to them on our page because they're crazy. But one of the things that
I think he is just highlighting the freakiness of this lady friend.
But one of my favorite parts of the song, I have to pull up the specific lyrics, is where he talks about, like, you know what? Some people have a lame sex game, and if you're a freak, you should be proud of yourself.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I think that's a good message. Even
saying the basic bitch has a lame sex game.
Like, he's not, and she this lady that he's talking about, she made $100,000 last year sucking dick.
She made $100,000.
She made $100,000 last year sucking dick. This is all part of the song. We're not making this up.
No,
We're not
you can't make this stuff up. I'm not making it up.
No, but you're creative.
Oh, I'm creative, but not that creative.
You don't have any lyrics about
I really
any
don't.
of the things you like.
Yeah.
Not that you like sucking dick, but
no. The raciest lyric I have is in one of my songs, and it's like, she purrs like a stroked-in bored, well-oiled machine.
Which song is that in?
That's in Smiles Like the Sun, right there.
That's not Blueberry Cocaine.
No.
Who's that girl? Who's the girl?
I don't know. Just some song I made up.
Because Blueberry Cocaine is about me, right?
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
but you need lyrics for it.
Well, I need the rest of the song. I have the chorus.
Well, I happen to have a great resource for lyrics for you.
Is it ChatGPT? Oh wait, no, I know what this is. This is special.
This is going to be an episode. Go ahead, tell them what we found.
Stacy found her high school.
Doug was having a really bad
I was not having
night,
a good.
and I'm trying to cheer him up.
Day, yeah.
And he's been stuck on a couple songs. He's missing like a couple lyrics, and I'm like, I have a resource for you.
Yeah, nothing rhymes with orange. So Stacy goes into a bin. Always dangerous. We never know what's in there.
Most of our bins are at Huddy's house.
Oh yeah, but these are bins with our stuff in them still. So they're slid under the bed. Anyways, we find Stacy's poetry work from when she was in high school, some of which was published.
Terrible.
And when she's like, terrible. "Oh, I was published," and there were like 8 pages
magazine
stapled together, and I'm not sure
if we're Catholic school. We had no budget. It was typed on like a typewriter,
right,
and copied with like a mimeograph machine. Like,
yeah, okay.
So anyway, go ahead.
Anyways, your lyrics were kind of sullen.
If you published
melancholy.
If you published that shit in a high school literary magazine today, the FBI would be hauling me off.
I don't know why we didn't bring that, because it was like
We'll do it for another day.
Yeah, it was bad.
All I can say is
they would have flagged you.
I was very depressed. I had been through hell and back. We've talked a little bit about that. I'd been through hell and back as a teenager, and I expressed myself through my poetry. Surprisingly, very little about spending, making $100,000 last year sucking dick, because that did not happen.
That did not happen.
Little did I.
Otherwise, if you had known,
should have listened to my
father.
Had
you known,
I should have listened to my father.
For a high school kid making $100,000 and doing whatever is real.
And yet.
So, anyways, there was a darkness in that poetry.
Somebody remind us, and we will do. We'll bring out my terrible poetry. But Doug read it, and he became very depressed.
No, you read it to me.
Yeah. Well, are you depressed?
It actually cheered me up, because when I was in high school, I was not depressed. I was playing in a band, playing Exit.
Well, you had parents who loved you until they died.
Yeah, right up until they died. Yeah, that was maybe a little after. Who knows?
You know why?
Why
your parents died? Level the playing field. You were loved, not fair for the rest of us.
Yeah. And,
all you people that are loved out there,
bite us.
Well, you have parents that love you, they just happen to be dead.
Yeah.
And they haunt you, and they're still dead, but they haunt you.
They can be haunting us right now.
They haunt you with love.
By saying, "Shut up, Stacy. I'm going to drive this loud plane over your house."
To shut you up during your podcast?
Yeah.
Hey, where's the papers I told you that we needed?
Papers we needed?
Yeah.
Oh, the Costco receipt or something? What did you want?
The Ding Darling shit.
Yeah. I never got it.
Well, you're the worst husband ever.
Well, I gave us dinner. I did some dishes.
Marital hate.
Okay, I set all this stuff out.
Okay, but I don't remember the guy's name or anything. So
I know the guy's name.
Let's start off. Today we left the fucking house. Big deal for us.
Yes.
Just a reminder, we interact with our friends at the end of the podcast because we
got no time for you right now.
No, it's not that we have no time for you. We have, as you've noticed, or you're noticing for the first time if you're new, we have wicked ADD. So if we interact with our friends, we get completely off track, which we do anyway. But it's like worse. So we left the house today. That was a big day.
We had an appointment.
I had asked Doug.
Oh, we don't have to go back this far.
I'm going back this far because so if you're a regular viewer, Doug lost his job back in September. If you know anything about computers or design, you know that you have to have a Mac. And
the Mac that I had was 7 years old, and it was starting to bow up and become oval because the battery was slowly expanding, and it will eventually explode. So the top of my keyboard was a hump.
And the monitor
was 2/3.
And the whole thing's probably just going to burst into flames at any minute. But that's a whole other thing. So, had to get Doug a laptop.
Yeah.
So we looked. It had to be a Mac.
Yeah.
So we looked at every available option. I could buy a used one for $1,000. I could buy a refurb for $1,500.
Sketchy guy off Facebook Marketplace.
eBay, Mac Mall. There were some options. I also looked at doing a rent-a-center style situation.
Best Buy has them.
We looked at leases. We looked at a lot of different options. And I have an Apple Card. We both have Apple Cards, actually. You can't have two people on the same one. I have an Apple Card, and we threw it on whichever Apple Card we threw it on, and it gives you 0% interest for
for whatever,
for
and
a
then
couple years.
Yeah.
So it's $130 a month, which obviously not a good time for us to take out debt, but it's a lot fucking better for me to take out the debt for $140 a month than to have to shell at $1,500.
It's also deductible
because we were hoping that Doug would have a job by now. So anyway,
yeah, go figure.
He had been back and forth trying to figure out what the fuck laptop to get, and he wasn't making a purchase. Oh, there goes the neighborhood cat. We have a neighborhood cat, geckos, bunnies. We're gonna hear the owls later. So he was taking forever. He was researching all these things and not finding what he wanted. He didn't want to spend the money. Yada yada yada. Finally, I reached out to my friend Jeff back in Massachusetts. Absolutely love him and his hot ass wife Brandy. Love them to death. They're the nicest people ever. We need to have them on the podcast. Jeff, who had his own fucking shit to deal with, took time out of his schedule to chat with me and help me choose a laptop for Doug. And so I ordered a laptop, and I'm like, it's Valentine's Day, and my iPad is broken, and I'm like, listen, the only thing I want you to do today is to get my iPad fixed. It's the only thing I want for Valentine's Day. Just get my iPad fixed. Take it to Apple Store and get it fixed. And so he's like, oh, I'm going to look at laptops when I'm there. And I'm nagging him all morning. He won't go. And so finally I'm like, you have an appointment at 1:30. He did not have an appointment at 1:30. Couldn't get an appointment that day. I'm like, you got an appointment at 1:30. You got to get there. He's like, oh, I'm going to look at laptops while I'm there, but that's not what I'm going to buy. That's too much money. Blah, 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 blah. And he just keeps going on. And I've been listening to this for weeks. And I've just been just buy a fucking laptop. So he didn't buy a laptop.
Pimping ain't easy, folks.
And so he's just blah, 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 all Dougie Downer.
I don't sound like that.
Yes, you sound... No, it's actually way worse because you're a Dougie Downer. You're like, oh, the world is coming to get me. Everything is terrible. Blah, blah, blah.
Prove me wrong.
And so... This is not the energy I want in my life. Can you please stop it?
Get back to the story.
No, I need you to stop that.
I stopped it.
Yeah, okay. I try to bring good energy to the world. Today we were talking about how we had this bad energy come into our life last year. And we're trying to get rid of that. And it's my constant battle to have exorcised the demons over here. So anyway, finally I can't take it anymore. I just go, "Are you fucking stupid?"
Am I fucking stupid? That's
And
all
he
nice
goes,
thing
"What?"
to say to your husband.
I go, "Are you fucking stupid?" And I go to the Apple store. I bought you a laptop. Go pick it up.
She's like, why do you think I was texting Jeff for 3 hours last night? She'll text the guy named UPS man for 4 hours because he has a hangnail and he's got to eat,
Okay, first
zinc
of all,
and some curcumin.
Dwayne has not given me his email. And I miss Steve and Phil. And if anybody has Steve and Phil's Facebook, please tell them to hit me up, join the podcast. I love Steve and Phil. They're fucking awesome.
And
Steve retired. I had my chance with Steve. Well, to get his Facebook.
Long story short, her emailing some person that we know for 4 hours straight, usually doling out some sort of advice, medical advice, things like that. You guys
I don't just give medical advice.
The podcast.
I give life advice, medical advice, relationship advice,
unsolicited
sex
advice.
Definitely unsolicited advice. I'm getting better about that, though.
Solicitation advice. No, that's for prostitution.
I give.
Anyways, it was no big deal
advice,
that she was
advice.
texting some rando, right? And Jeff's not a rando, but like, that just some person, whatever.
He didn't know who I was messaging.
Because half the time I'm like, who you chatting with? Oh, Belinda. Who's Belinda? Some lady I met on the internet. She had she's growing corn.
She likes vacation.
Yeah, or something.
It's all she ever wanted. She has to get away.
Her lips are sealed. That's why she has to type on Facebook.
Maybe.
Anyways, so I go to I go down to the Apple store.
I don't have any friends named Belinda. I have Billy.
Yeah, Billy from Peru, and there's, but the way you say, when I say who you're talking to, you're like I'm supposed to know who this person is. Oh, this is Carol.
Well,
who the
you
hell's
do
Carol?
happen to know Jeff.
She is from Wisconsin. She likes cheese.
You know Jeff. You were
no,
like,
I do know Jeff.
Okay,
I like Jeff.
And you had talked to Jeff a few nights earlier.
I did
And
about
what did you talk to him about?
my exploding computer. And he was like, "Get the M1 chip if you can, or get the non-M1 chip." And I was trying to be frugal, talking with Jeff.
Yeah, you
but then
are the most
Jeff was like, "You know what?
foolish person
Maybe
I've ever
it's
met
time
in my life.
to shoot that computer in
You
the head and get a new
are
one."
the most penny-wise, dollar-foolish person I've ever...
Dollar
Lenny.
foolish.
Lenny. Penny-wise, dollar-foolish. Also, Doug.
Died a millionaire. That's not
He
gonna
also
be me.
died miserable and alone. And he had, like, an asset that he ruined by not maintaining it, by being cheap.
Well, that's
That
why
house-
I wipe everything
I'm
with a
waiting to
diaper.
see if that house goes on the market yet.
Whatever.
I need to know.
Anyway,
so we go to the Apple store.
so that day,
He was supposed to get that. He never had the iPad looked at.
So no, what happened is I took the iPad with me. I went to the front of the store. I said, "Oh, I'm picking up my MacBook, but I need to have this iPad looked at." And this was like, I don't know what time it was, noon, something like that. There wasn't an appointment till like 3:30.
Yeah, but he asked the guy at the door who was
I
like
asked
a
the guy
dick.
at the door. He's from New Hampshire. We exchanged chit chat, and I told him what was going on with it. He goes, "Yeah, that sounds like it's whatever, some sort of hardware, firmware, whatever problem, not a software problem, that they couldn't do anything." So
Yeah,
I
but
did.
that was
I
without
didn't.
him looking at it, and you didn't ask the other people.
Okay. Well, so I pick up my Mac. I come home. I grab Culver's on the way home, by the way, which was delicious. And then guess what happened today? We took that iPad back to the store.
I'm just saying, I would not have come home without a repaired iPad. So we took the iPad to the store.
And guess what? Doug was right. The guy at the front door was right. In February. Thank you.
That it couldn't be fixed, but we would have known that in February, and then I would
that's
have
the only
not
difference.
suffered this entire time like I have.
I didn't know.
So
it was
I
suffering.
used my iPad basically to keep from wear and tear on my laptop because laptops are far more expensive. My friend Fred had gotten me a discount on my original iPad, and thank you, Fred. And it was like $600. And so anyway, we got so we went in today, and I got to trade it, and it was like, and I got to finance it, so it's like another $20 a month. So it wasn't in the budget, and I don't like having debt, but it'll
it's
keep
a
me
write-off.
from killing my iPad. I can use it for the podcast, yada yada yada. But it was it's been driving me out of my fucking mind. When you're chronically ill like I am, you're constantly like looking for a way to distract yourself, and my iPad is usually how I do that. So I do a bit on my phone, but a lot of times I have two things going at once because I have ADD, and
you can use the iPad as an extension screen for your laptop.
That's
so
the
you can
primary
actually-
thing I use it for. So, like, if I'm
'Cause your
trying to
laptop
do
is
bill
small.
paying or anything for the podcast, I keep one screen and one screen, and yeah, I use it for a lot. But I use it a lot for watching movies, and because I don't want to wear out my laptop. And sometimes it's weird, from like a sensory perspective. It might be time to turn those on. From a sensory perspective, what I have trouble with is the TVs across the room. Even if it's a big TV like I have, like what are our TVs, like 50?
No, once, well,
Yeah, they're like 50, 55. They're
45, 55, something like that, or something like that. Yeah, they're 50,
give or take 50.
55.
So they're not monstrous, but they're not small either. I get distracted by all the other things in the room, and I can't just do one thing, and I can't do anything. It's fucking a nightmare. But anyway, we went to the Apple store today. Sam was fucking awesome.
Sam was good. Pedro,
he was
also
awesome. He
awesome.
might be ugly. He had a mask on.
We don't know. He could be
I think
buck-toothed or
Apple
something.
is still requiring employees to wear masks, and I could be wrong.
I would
but
say no, because him and one other guy were wearing a mask in there.
yeah, if you're not vaccinated, you have to wear a mask according to Apple policy, as last I checked it. So who the fuck knows? But if they want to wear a mask, whatever, that's their choice. I don't give a shit what they wear. I think it's stupid.
Their face, their choice.
Their face, their choice. But if a company is making them wear a mask at this point, especially in the state of Florida.
Oh, there was a job I applied to the other day, and it was like asking, and I'm just like, nope, I'm not going to answer this. Because I don't think it's anybody's business, and
your medical
on a job
isn't
application.
anybody's business, and
I don't think my sexual orientation is anybody's business on a job application either. I could go off on a little rant on this.
actually, it's really funny because this chick, I think I sent you this video today. So what this guy did, or his chick did, is she applied for 5 jobs with like perfect resumes,
right.
and got 5 interviews, and the other people didn't show, and just she showed the interview. It's pretty clever. So should we turn that light on, or actually?
I think we're looking good right now.
getting a nice little
That little
sunset.
pink sunset over there.
So
The clouds rolling in.
What was it? It was Pedro and Sam.
Pedro and Sam.
Were
Yep.
freaking awesome at the Apple store.
Pedro came here from Cuba in 2007.
Such a sweetheart of a kid. No accent though.
Great kid.
D&D. He loves to play D&D, like a lot of our friends.
A lot of our
Chat a
friends
little
like
about that.
D&D.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I don't know anybody that plays it, but
Yes, you do.
the Mox.
The Mox,
That's
Jim.
about it. Jim. Oh yeah, Jim. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody. Not everybody, but
Yeah.
I mean my kids. Anyway, so they were super nice. And then there was a guy there that it was actually the guy that helped Doug when he came in, and Doug was like, he has no personality, which is possible. But I talked to him and I was like, I was just sitting here saying that you look like a black Joe Rogan. And he's like, because the guy was jacked, and he's like, oh, he goes,
He's like a cage fighter.
he's like a fighter, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. And he was happy about that. And then there was this cute girl. She got ass like a dump truck. She's hot. And I was like, she had these, but she was like me, like she's juicy. And she had on these really cool ass black cargo pants. And I'm like, I'm gonna have her be my stylist because she's fly. And then
Nobody says fly anymore.
I do what I want.
They say she's flexing. What is the flex
No,
thing?
flex is different.
Oh, okay. She had flex.
That's different.
She's Bella Fleck.
No, that's different. That's different.
Okay.
I think the closest thing you could say is she had a Bowflex. But
She's working out like from the 80s.
I don't know. Wait, no, the Bowflexes are a thing. Deb just bought one.
The Bowflex?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were still a thing. I remember that they were all the rage because there was like a really good ad for them in Rolling Stone every month or every week or whatever it was.
I think you bought this for like $20 a month.
And everybody bought that Bowflex. I didn't, but
No.
I
So-
really my body's a fine.
To my story about the Apple store.
Yes, go ahead with your juicy lady.
So
friend.
Could
you get back in?
No, I don't want to be near you. So then we're watching the I look over to the left and there's a cute, also African American woman, and her pants are peeking down just a little bit because you're a little bit.
So I get this text.
And I text him and I go, look to your left, you're welcome. And he goes, I already saw it.
I already saw it, and we said some things that maybe didn't need to be said.
What do we say? You just said
I
you already
said
saw it.
something.
Oh,
I said something to you that
You said as long as I get hard, you don't care how I got there. She doesn't have any problems.
black lady. She was yeah. So anyways,
Any problems,
black
but
lady
if
that was
changes,
at
I'll let you know.
Apple
you know
today.
I'll tell you. You know I'll tell you. I'll be like, Doug couldn't get it up
Thank
last
you.
night.
No, that's never gonna happen.
What do you
The
mean?
Scorpio.
That you're never going to get it up, or that I'm never going to tell them?
That I'm never gonna have a problem in that area. Thank you.
Never.
I don't know. Maybe if I
You've
have
never
the flu.
had a night where you couldn't finish off?
What if I have the flu?
Never.
I don't know.
You always get hard, but there's been a couple of times where you haven't finished.
As
long as I got mine, I don't give a shit.
No, you don't care. So, lady at the Apple Store, thank you.
Thank you
for
being hot.
Those
yeah, thank you, the other lady at the Apple Store, for being hot. But also,
oh, and then
the security guy.
She's obsessed with the security guy. I want to go talk to the security guy.
There's 2 security guards. Why there's 2? It's a small Apple Store. Yeah. It's the Acero Apple Store. So if you're from down here, Coconut Point,
size of a Dunkin's. It was not very big.
It's like a quarter of the Apple Store in Hingham, which is nice about it because you can't drive through the front door.
Don't make jokes.
It's not. Somebody drove through the Hingham Apple Store.
But somebody
and killed
died.
Somebody. Like it's not cool.
Don't make jokes when somebody dies.
That's the owls.
That's a.
Oh, you gotta show them that picture.
Freaking out.
We invited all the owls on our street to come to the podcast.
We did.
So they're all gonna.
This was one of the families of owls that was out in the yard.
Closer.
Big ones, little ones.
They were so cute. It's a little owl family. I don't think you saw that on your street, but that's all right. So, so there's these 2 security guards, and Sam being the first guy that helped us, who was very nice. Sam and I, we decided that guy needs to get baked with us, and so we had a chat. I'm like, dude, by the end of your shift, I'm gonna have that guy coming out with us and getting baked. And so I was trying to work on it, but the guy wouldn't make eye contact with me. So then I'm trying to figure out why the hell there's 2 security guards. By the way, there's some regular people like us. There's maybe, I don't know what, 3 regular people. But it's primarily the nip and tuck crowd from Estero with
Yeah, there was a few. There was one guy that she was betting me money that he was from Massachusetts and
I was like, that guy is from Massachusetts. He owns a boat and he was in finance.
No, I thought he was from Michigan or Indiana. Was in manufacturing sales.
The birds do not agree. I don't believe it at all. But there was definitely more than a few people there with some. And
it wasn't just me.
Fancy designer clothes, and Doug said I horrified people. I don't really give a shit, but I will say this: on our way out, I stopped the one security guard, the one that was further away from us, and I was like, "You got to tell me, why do you have 2 security guards?"
Nothing. And I'm dragging her. I'm like, just walk away.
And I'm like, have a good day.
She
literally,
down. She starts laughing.
I could have been nobody there, and I just started laughing my fucking head off. I'm like, oh, okay.
Maybe he was listening to our podcast on his earphone.
Navy SEALs who do not take themselves that seriously. Actually, that's actually a funny story. The guy, remember that guy I told you I went on a bad date with, and we just
You went on a lot of bad dates with.
No. This was really bad. So this guy was a former Navy SEAL, and he did.
I don't think I knew about this guy.
No, you did. And he did. He'd retired from the Navy SEALs, and he was doing personal protections for high net worth clients or whatever. And so we had a decent date. Actually, I think it was our second date. So we went out. The first time was okay. Second time, we just met up for drinks and apps, which was fine.
Oh, drinks. But drinks with me was not good enough.
Well, it was late. It wasn't a date. It was one of those
Well, he had to go home to his wife and then sneak out.
No, it's so much worse than that. So the first time we went out, we had a proper date. We hadn't been able to connect because of our schedules. And
as you were busy.
I had 4 children.
Yeah.
And so we finally got together late one night. We got drinks and apps or whatever. So, it's really loud. We want to talk a little bit. So we go and sit in my car for a few minutes to talk before I'm going to head home. He just whips it out and starts going to town on himself. I've never even kissed the guy, and he's just going to town. I'm like...
I don't know how you react to that.
Dude, I still don't know how I reacted to it. I just was... But, the thing is, I was I don't think people realize this. Yeah, I'm generally very direct. However, I was raised to be a good girl. Yes, please, no thank you.
Yes,
be polite, the whole 9
Sir,
yards.
can you put that back in your trousers?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember what happened. I have no recollection of what happened after that.
How do you not remember that?
Because I think I just completely zoned out. But you also have to remember, I'm a sexual assault victim survivor
Well, that's
and all that crap. But anyway, the Navy SEAL just in my car. I don't know if he popped off. I really don't know. But I'm saying that he was pretty calm at the time. I wasn't, but he was.
I don't. Yeah. So be careful out there, people.
So, but my point is that I don't know what I was saying. I was saying something about people being calm.
And that guy was
Oh, the
Super calm.
the guy at the
Oh,
Apple store
yeah.
is just taking himself way too fucking seriously.
Like
I'm guarding the president, the Hope Diamond. I'm not as serious as that.
Like
man.
I'm wondering, like in his case, like was he like trying to be something more and ended up as a Apple security guy and wanted to be like big tough guy with Navy SEAL, whatever.
Well, he didn't seem like he wanted to be a happy person.
He didn't want to talk to you.
And
I know that
like,
much.
It seems like a terrible way to spend the day just like standing there.
Well, that brings
And
me.
also, I made jokes about stealing stuff the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole time. Not
Like,
everybody
why
was.
do they connect these things to the
Read the
cords?
room,
It should make it
Stace.
easier to remove.
Read the room, Stacey. So this leads to some. Every once in a while in life, I have come across people that just don't get me. They don't
but
get
it
my
hurts
sense of
you.
humor.
It hurts you. It hurts your feelings. I think it's
Well,
hilarious.
It does at the time, but then you're like, you know what? It's their loss, kind of a thing. Because like I think I'm hysterical, and a lot of people think I'm hysterical, but obviously maybe I just didn't read them right. But like I have
to tell
I
people.
had professors,
actually,
I've had bosses,
This has happened to both of us. That we have to tell people we're joking. We're like, we're joking.
Oh yeah,
We're always joking.
Well, in my
if it's
case,
inappropriate, we're definitely joking. If it's about a dead relative, we're definitely joking. If it's about me being abused as a child, joking. Like,
and I will tell you about my
that should
humor.
actually happen, but we just joke about it.
Well, in my like a lot of times, I just get bored with the situation, so I'm entertaining myself. So, I'm bringing the humor in to just.
I
get
just
through
don't know about healthier coping mechanism than just laughing.
Yeah, we put the fun in funeral. We have done that, and that's probably not
good.
Although, yeah, there was one funeral in particular that I think we were like people wanted us to go to the next relative's funeral because we made it bearable.
See,
for
I'm
them.
starting
So
to wonder if they didn't want us to go to the funeral because
well, it was pretty epic.
Yeah, the mom died like a week later. It was
not
sad.
good.
It was so sad. I felt so bad for them, but we couldn't make it out for a second one. It was to Connecticut, and we had like crap going on at the time. Anyway, and it was like this is the crazy thing is it was my friend's aunt and uncle. I went to my grandmother's funeral by myself with 4 kids. Do you think my friend showed up for that? No, because why? Because I'm a fucking sucker. I'm always there for everybody.
Sucker foo.
And, well, there's very few people that are there for me. And you know who you are because you're amazing. And, but, yeah, it sucks. Anyway, so after that, I was like, hey, we're out. So when we had gone to Costco last week, they had this little charcuterie tray.
Oh.
I don't remember how much it was. I want to say it was like $10. It wasn't. It was
Yeah,
like,
it was maybe like $9.99, something like that. It wasn't.
It was between like $13 and $7.
In there. Yeah.
It's a charcuterie.
It's huge.
It's a
like,
huge charcuterie board.
16 by 20. Something like that. Olives. 2 different salamis,
cheese,
crackers, cheese, like a double order of cheese across the bottom,
too, and
some sort of chocolate covered cranberry situation. We believe there's a monkey in that tree.
No, it's
making noise.
Dangly palms. Anyway,
so
we ate that as our lunch.
Well, tell them where we went.
So we went to Sanibel, and
one of our favorite places on earth.
One of our favorite places. Actually, we learned about Sanibel from the Mocs. Anyway,
okay.
we found out about. So we've been going to Sanibel for quite some time, and so we drove to Ding Darling, which is absolutely amazing. This is what
it's a wildlife.
A wildlife preserve. It's absolutely gorgeous, and Sanibel is like still kind of recovering from.
It got hit bad.
The hurricane. Like there's businesses that are just like the building is just gone. I mean, nothing, and a lot of them. And half the houses are like torn down to shreds. I think the owls think we're like mating with them.
Well,
I don't think I could fuck a bird. How would you even cloaca that? What? I'm your wife. Be proud.
It's my wife.
Anyway, so Ding Darling, it's like a 4-mile preserve. You drive through it very slowly. You want to go through it like 2 miles an hour and stop.
You can get out, and they have like boardwalks that go through the mangroves, and then they have little trails and things of that nature.
And it's just absolutely gorgeous, and you never know what you're going to see. I'm convinced that was a porcupine that I saw.
Yeah, she saw it in the rearview mirror.
Of
She's like, let's go back.
We went to see a gator. There were no gators.
I went to see the gator.
Hummingbird.
I did see a hummingbird. Yep, a big iguana. Bunch of little iguanas.
What do you think? Oh, fish!
Fish jumping out of the lake.
10 feet out of the water and just for fun. Like it was like, you know how like people go to a water park? They were like going to the air park.
And I was saying, all right, there's something in there, and like a predator making him jump out. But I don't think it was that. I think it was. Just
I think we should have looped around again. But let me tell you this. Okay, so it's $10 to go through Ding Darling. It's a 4-mile drive, and when you buy a pass, it's good for that entire day. So you can go through 20 times if you want to. And just go slow. Somebody gets behind you and they're up your ass, just pull over, let them go. You want to take your time. And the people who don't we were this far, like this far from this massive iguana today. Actually, you've got pictures.
I do.
We were this far from a massive iguana today, and 2 cars just blew by us. If I see somebody stopped, I'm like,
yeah,
what are they doing?
I want to know what's going on.
They probably see something. So anyway, we had been to Ding Darling many, many times.
It's iguana. Big one.
We had been to Ding Darling many, many times, but we finally decided, hey, we're going to buy the season pass. We'll save ourselves some money because we go all the time. Mm-hmm. So for $25 for the entire year, Ding Darling it up. So we went inside to buy the pass. So there's like this like learning center, which I thought was going to be like a diorama and like an old lady with a diaper on.
They did it right.
Wrong. You have to go to this place. Let me just tell you, first of all, Thursday is probably the best day to go. But Tuesdays, Thursdays, and I think Saturdays, our new friend Jim is there. Fuck. The people there were so unbelievable.
They made our day, really.
It was Mike, Patty, and Jim. Maybe there was another woman whose name is escaping me.
The younger girl was super nice.
Oh, there was another girl. The park ranger was like taking care of Jim. Yeah. So anyway, tell me the name again.
Jim Sprankle.
Jim Sprankle.
Sprankle.
Like
you sprinkle something, but you sprinkle. You sprinkled it.
He's German in origin. Nice guy.
He is, how old? 88?
88 years old, and he played for
the Brooklyn Dodgers back in the 50s.
And his signing bonus was $25,000
in the
then.
50s.
My grandparents bought their house. I want to say, I don't know, right around that time. They paid $28.50 for the house.
$28,000?
$2,850.
No, but no, the decimal is in the wrong
that
spot.
House it's worth like $500 now.
So, we meet this guy Jim, right?
But by the way, my grandfather maintained that place like it was like a museum. Like the Monet paintings are Monet paintings fancy? Like,
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so my grandfather, Monet paintings like held in museums as like archival blah 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 greatest thing in the world, do not take as good of care of those paintings as my grandfather did of every speck of grass and drywall in that house. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, you have it.
In a good way.
So when you walk into this place, there's a gift shop, of course, but then there's like it's like there's these trees,
there's taxidermy, there's trees.
Stuff,
like you're like, am I
there's
inside?
like
am I
exhibits.
Outside? What's going on? Doug had to pee, and Jim said, "Just go find a tree."
And I look over, and there's these trees inside, and it was very funny. So I go off, and one of the guys finds out that I like turtles. So I go off, and I'm talking to him about the turtles on the island, and I could go on and on about the turtles on the island
because they do the turtles in the morning.
They go and walk the beaches for the sea turtles. Now I'm more of a freshwater turtle guy, but sea turtles are amazing anyway. So
and they think Sanibel is actually crucial to the to the turtle development,
and because
which is our animal fact.
The warmer the incubation, more females you're going to get. He says, and Sanibel, you have so much fresh water that kind of leaches out into the ocean from the lakes that it keeps the eggs nice and cool. So we're providing male turtles to a world full. And he says all in Mexico they're having all females. And so we talked about that.
So what we need to do is make sure that there is absolutely no wall. We wanted the turtles to fuck.
So he was showing me the nest. I'm immune to it. So he's showing me the nest. Now down bottom, the cool dudes. Up top, hot chicks because they're warmer.
Did he say that?
Yes, he did.
Oh my god, that is so cute.
We were talking about the kind of turtles they have, and I asked if they ever had any of the big leatherbacks. You guys have probably seen the giant ones. And he's like, yeah, these are like 300 pounds to 500 pounds. He goes, but the leatherbacks get up to like 1,800 pounds to 2,000 pounds. That's an insane giant turtle. He goes, you think there's a boat that is overturned on the shore, so which is fantastic. Anyways, I love talking turtles. He actually informed me that there are alligator snapping turtles in some of the lakes, and that made me very happy because they're my favorite species of animal on the planet, ahead of the hippo. So those are my two. So pay attention because there might be a contest coming up about Doug's favorite species of animal.
Well, we actually have a couple contests going on right now.
And we talked about where the crocs are on the island. There's only a couple on the island of Sanibel.
Golf course.
They're on the golf course, a hole 18, I believe. And then so we got to chatting, and they told me where the alligator was. One of the alligators was seen today, and I went down, and it was gone. But it was something very strange to be in the woods, in the mangroves, on this little boardwalk, looking for an alligator, like by yourself, right? So I'm looking, it's all quiet. Water is like the color of tea. Everything's quiet, and I don't know where this thing is. This thing could come up like Jaws at the end of the boat.
It's not a wooden boardwalk.
No, it's not going to get me. But like, I didn't know where it was, so I'm looking around. It's just me versus gator, right? And this asshole bird just starts going, blah, 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 and I'm scared. I didn't jump, but it was like
scared.
No, but it's startled. It's nice and quiet, and then all of a sudden, it's you and an alligator.
You're jumpy as fuck.
And then boom.
Actually, it's funny because on the podcast, I'm the jumpy
You're
one.
the jumpy one.
But in real life, you're the jumpy one.
Yeah, no. So, anyways, I was a
like-
little disappointed in that, but those folks were so nice, and the
we
guy.
haven't even finished talking about the people.
But yeah, no. So Jim, the baseball player.
Can I just back you up for a minute with like a little bit of inappropriateness? So I get there, and I'm holding court as I do, and there's like the woman's there with these two gentlemen, and we didn't really know who they were yet. We hadn't really gotten to talking to them, and I go, "What is it that you get to like? What are you, the Vanna White of this? Like the two hot guys, and you're here, like, and you're this like sexy like spokesmodel lady?" And then I had a lengthy conversation with the three of them about how I like old dudes and how Doug's not quite old enough for me, but I think Jim might work. But he tells me he's on wife number 18.
Or 19. He wasn't
18
sure.
or 19. He's not really sure. I don't know if that's really true. And that Mike pulled his hat off and he said, "Well, what about bald guys?"
Mike is bald.
I love a bald man. Throw it in an accent and you got me.
All I really have going for me, I don't have money, but I have hair. So that's all I got going for me, and it's completely wasted on this lady.
What, hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got a tongue like Gene Simmons, so it worked out.
Well, that's not wasted on you.
Definitely not.
So our friend Jim, the baseball player.
Oh, this is where it gets fucking crazy.
Was telling, well, there's a couple things that were amazing about this guy. First, he starts telling us about, because we were asking him how they made it through the storm. He was telling me about the first level of this house was all storage, and he had his collection, a collection, I don't know if, I guess it was his, of baseballs dating back. He had baseballs signed by presidents. He had Lou Gehrig. He had Babe Ruth. He had this. They're all gone from the storm because the water got in there and just all of them gone.
Irreplaceable.
He got the.
And these are like irreplaceable art. And
yeah, absolutely.
And like the thing about Jim, like, and again, we just met him today, and I'm just obsessed. He does all of this volunteer work. Like, you wouldn't believe the volunteer work he's doing.
No, which was great. So, anyways, the Babe Ruth, he had the Babe Ruth alone, appraised in 1972, and it was something like $12,000 in 1972, and it just got washed away. So somewhere out in Sanibel in the woods is probably a baseball that Babe Ruth had signed, but like they were all saying, it's like, yeah, the salt water would have taken the signatures off because the signatures are 100 years old now. Anyways, but
the Babe Ruth signed baseball, is $199,000. Here's another one. Sad. $349,000. But he didn't. But like, it's not about like the thing about. I didn't get the. Oh, here's one for $4 million. Here's the thing about this guy. I didn't get the impression that he needs the money. Like, I got the impression that he would. I mean, it's Sanibel. Nobody who lives in Sanibel needs it. Well, there's probably a few people in Sanibel who need the money, but by and large, it's a very affluent community.
He's lived a great life.
No, he's lived a great life, but like, it's more like that you collected them. Like, and so like my thing is like, how could we get him? How could we get him baseballs? And I'm gonna bring him a baseball for him to sign for me, and I'm gonna bring him a baseball. But I would love to find him just like a couple signed baseballs, just to like, I don't know, maybe we could reach out to the players or the teams or something, because the guy was he's 88 years old. He was a Brooklyn Dodger, and now he does all of this. He does all of this beautiful wood carvings and volunteers at Ding Darling. You got to tell him about the carvings, because I could not describe this if my life depended on it.
So I started talking to him about, I went to art school, whatever, and we started talking, and he goes, oh yeah, that's my second career, whatever. And we started talking about painting.
There were at least 3 birds that he carved out of wood that I thought were taxidermy.
And so his sculptures, and I kind of talked to him about sculpture, his sculptures were unbelievable. Like realistic, like birds in flight with holding fish and all this. And he did like a number of decoy, like many decoys. But like like if a bird had like a tuft of feathers coming out, that was all wood that he had like kind of shaved into that popped up and things like that. So the work is unbelievable. I'm dying to go back and just look at it again. I mean,
I think
the
we need to bring
details
back
were
some
amazing.
cookies and I'm telling you, so there were parts of the birds that I thought that he had glued feathers onto a bird.
Yeah.
No.
It was all like etched in and then painted. Yeah.
Feathers out of wood. Feathers out of
And when
wood.
he painted those, he was probably using like a brush hair, like to get that thin of a line onto that. Unbelievable work.
But he
I
was
in
so
awe.
nice, and he was a massive flirt. And
Kept talking about his Willie.
He did. He was talking to me about his Willie. He said it's been with him for 88 years. He said, I just got my friend Willie, and he's been with me for 88 years. Dude, this motherfucker was so nice. I loved him. I loved Mike. I loved the woman. I loved the women in the guest shop. I loved the little security lady. I loved the guy at the booth. I said, we hung out with those people. They're so cool. I'm like, you're missing out on all the fun out here. I'm like, I guess you get the peace and quiet and you don't have to deal with crazy people like me. And he's like, moving on. And that's not true. He was very nice. But then we stopped at...
well, my favorite was, there's like you had to go around the corner of the kind of in this patio, like balcony kind of thing. This was on the ceiling, so this was like almost like you're below the water.
It's like you're under the surface
and you're
of the
looking
water,
up at the lower half of some ducks and
a lot
some
of places here
like
do that. That's a big one.
That was pretty cool.
I haven't seen it in person, but at the Tampa airport, there's
The
a
big
massive flamingo, and
that
you're
comes
under
down,
the water with the flamingo's feet, and its nose is under the water. There's like an owl party going on over there. So anyway, I think that under the water stuff is really cool.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of those exhibits in different places where they show you what's going under the water. Because that's a big thing down here, especially because we have the walking trees. What are they called again? The walking trees?
Well, there's the mangroves, but
that's mangroves. Yeah. They look like they have legs because they survive in the water. So anyway, we did that, and then we swung by. We were gonna get so the Bubble Room has been closed. So the Bubble Room is this sick ass restaurant. If you've visited us, we've probably taken you there. But they've been wiped out. The hurricane, they have no power still at the restaurant, so they can't do anything about it. They had like a transformer burst or something, and they have to have the whole thing replaced.
It's an old building, so rewiring
it's an old building, but they got so they have an ice cream shop next door that's open. The gift shop they think will be open again in 6 months. They have no idea on the restaurant, and but they were able to save the majority of the high valuable collectibles. They have a few that took on water, but they look fine, but they probably won't work anymore. Like there's that Beatles jukebox. She wasn't sure how that was going to do. But shout out to, I wrote their names down.
Audra, and
Rachel, who were absolutely amazing.
They were really nice.
So we got some cake, and
we
got
a Christmas cake.
We're splitting a piece of cake tonight.
Oh,
and we were gonna get the Bubble Room bread.
The Bubble Room bread is special.
So the Bubble Room bread is still at the pop-up shop, and you take the frozen bread home. They are working on doing a food truck, and a lot of our primary concern was for the employees, because whenever we go places, we interact with people, we try to get to know them. When it comes to service people, we tend to over tip, which is why we're poor, and maybe people will start tipping us. Start like a Patreon, and people can ching in.
They know where to find us.
People have tried to give us money.
Actually, I would like somebody to send me a casserole.
I have turned down
something like that.
I've turned down money like 5 times in the last month.
I know you have, and that's amazing. That
I just want you guys. But the weird thing is, I'm willing to earn it. Not that
right, yeah. No, I know what you mean.
But I don't want anybody to give me anything, which is ridiculous. But we do, we do provide hours of entertainment with the podcast. So
we do.
Our goal would be primarily just to have there's an ad at the beginning. You have to fucking sit through the 30-second ad, and it's enough to pay for some lights for us, and maybe even make us some money so that we can continue to do this and bring you more interesting content. And,
more interesting than us going to a nature preserve. That was actually
nature preserve was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But I'd like to have been able to videotape that today. That would have been cool as shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have, but it would have been sloppy.
Well, we would have had to edit it down for content.
Well, we're gonna have to. We
were pretty well behaved. There was nothing inappropriate in that whole nature preserve.
You wanted to fuck at the nature preserve
because it's the most natural thing I could think of. But you're like, no, they have nature cams.
What we do is not natural.
It depends if you watch the Animal Channel.
Our kids watch the show.
Animal Planet. Discovery Channel. That's the song I was thinking of.
We continued our list. I think that's too fast. So we did add a song to the sex list. So I had asked yesterday for you guys to write in with songs to fuck to. We needed ideas. So far we have Closer by 9 Inch Nails. We have White Men in Black Suits by Everclear.
Chains by Corolla Dust, or whatever that was.
Chains by Corolla Dust, Corolla DeVille, whatever her fucking
whoever
name is.
Corolla.
And Slow Hands, I think that's Sam Hunt. Is that him?
No, I thought that was one of those One Direction people, wasn't it?
It's by Niall Horan.
Yeah, the guy from is it One Direction? Not One Direction. What's the British group? I think that's
One Direction is a British group.
Yeah, I think that was the group.
I don't know who this guy is, but anyway, I like the song. It makes me horny, so that's a good song to fuck to.
So
nobody has guessed what I got my varsity letter in. Yeah, we have prizes.
Yeah.
Cool ass photoshops. You want a Doug Photoshop. The things he does. Absolutely amazing. Nobody's guessed what. Oh, and also we need like a quote of the episode that we can use to name the episode. Because we've been working on that. And any parts that you guys think, hey, like this was really funny, you need to make a clip of that. Because we have to go back and rewatch every one of our freaking podcasts and break out the key moments that we want. And I'm doing the keywords, and it's just like, that's probably why the other night I just overdid it that day, I think.
And you puked all over the place.
So if you haven't seen, what was that, Tuesday night's episode? It's the shortest one we have. It's like a clip for people who are like, we've had a lot of people that are like, I can't do 2 hours, that's too long. I'm like, dude, just like listen while you're in the car or whatever. Like, you don't have to sit by the television every night at 8 o'clock. Although I think it sure beats 90% of what's on television. That's beside the point.
Unless it's Bruins or Celtics playoffs, like last night. I caught the third period, though, and guess what? They gave up 3 goals. It was not good.
Maybe you bring them bad luck.
I think they brought themselves bad luck last night because some of those goals were pretty weak. So, anyway.
So what we were saying was that we need to go back and watch them so we can make these shorter clips. But Tuesday actually ended up being a shorter clip, for the short attention span people. Tuesday actually ended up being a shorter clip because we're sitting here. I get vertigo. I decide I'm going to put my head down.
And boom.
Doug pets me like a dog. And I try to get up. That doesn't work. I try again. That doesn't work. So I'm like,
we got to call it. Yeah, remember?
I think that I need to go inside. And Doug's like, should we call it? And I'm like, yes. And then he said, what do you need? He was running around like a chicken with his head cut off. And I said, a bowl. He came back with a bowl, which I filled for him. Yeah. And then he took it away, and I yelled for him.
I didn't make back in time.
And like I was like, where are you? I was like still like wiping my mouth.
Yeah,
and
I thought you were good.
That was like the most, like it was like the wham bam thank you man equivalent of
a vomit bowl having.
So in any case, there was more. It went everywhere.
Yeah.
And then yesterday we talked about it in great detail, and I just wanted to recap that for everybody.
It's still like it's like PTSD.
Ruined your dinner. But anyway,
tonight you didn't eat dinner.
I did not eat dinner tonight. Well, we ate late.
We had that charcuterie.
And I hadn't drank enough fluids today, so now I'm just kind of catching up on having fluids.
I just drank half of this whole smart water.
You did not drink enough today. You should drink that entire smart water and another one. So, which maybe not the best thing to have the smart water in the plastic bottle, but it's the only way I'll fucking drink it. So,
I like everything in a glass bottle myself. But I'm not going to spend the extra money
Actually, there's one company in Massachusetts that does the glass bottles, but I think they're expensive to ship.
The one with that red and silver label, that's really, really beautiful. Gets
it shipped. We'll have to ask her.
Yeah, she can probably afford to have water shipped from Massachusetts.
What the hell kind of comment is that?
Because she is a bougie ass mobile chiropractor. You heard it here first.
She is.
No, she's not bougie, but the fact that.
What? She's a doctor.
She's a doctor.
Yeah, but doctors have mega overhead. For her, it's less because she's a chiropractor. Like not because she's a chiropractor. Because I remember her overhead before was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But right now she's rebuilding her business.
She is.
And I get. And
we're there to help her.
I have absolutely no doubt that it's going to be impossible to get an appointment with Christina in the next 6 months because she's fantastic. But she's starting over in a whole new area, and
but Christina likes nice things like water in glass bottles. I would do it if I had the money. I would have nice glass bottles.
I don't even know what you're talking
prerogative.
about. But okay, anyway, What my favorite thing actually, and I hate to be talking about Christina because like, she's not here, but my favorite thing about Christina is she knows what she wants and she's not going to settle. And she's not like uppity or anything. Like she's super down to earth. She's so cool. She's so nice. She's so thoughtful. She's so caring. She will talk to anybody. Like she's so thoughtful. Like she's just an amazing person. And she's been very kind to us. Her husband's awesome too, Brent.
Brent's
you know, like in Christina's shadow, everybody looks like shit because she's just amazing.
But my thing
that's
is
not the point.
Christina's my kid sister, and I give her a lot of credit.
Oh, he really like he thinks she's his little sister. He wants her so bad to be his little sister, so he can pull on her ponytail. She doesn't have ponytails, but the thing that what she does is like if you meet her, she's like the nicest, like most like girl next door sweet person you'll ever meet. Everybody likes her. Once you get to know her, you learn she does not suffer fools. She is going to be very nice in the way that she tells you, no, that's not going to happen. And like she inspires me. And that way, she inspires me in like 5 ways. But like the first one would be that she does not suffer fools. She is very good at setting boundaries. She set a tremendous example for me. Thank you very much, Christina. Love you. She knows what she likes, and she'll be like for example, there was this like designer handbag that was in it at one point, and she's like, I'm not paying for that crap. And she's like, so I got this guitar strap from Brent, and I'm putting it on my bag, and it looks just like theirs. And I was like, I think yours looks way better than theirs. The other thing is that she's like, she holds her values and she lives in her values, and that's something I do myself, but it's hard to find people that are like that. Like a lot of people I don't think live like, they may have like a value that they hold, but they don't necessarily carry it out in their lives. Okay.
It was a jogger.
It was a jogger, and they were mumbling. I don't know what they were mumbling.
It's a mumbling jogger.
But she just inspires me, and I like, she's certainly someone that I am proud to call a friend, and yeah.
That and not to get off the Christina topic, but that guy mumbling as he jogged by. The other day, I went out and took the barrels in for trash day, and as I'm going back up the driveway, the barrels are making a little noise. There's some guy I hear, yeah, go back in the house, bitch, or something like that. I'm like, is he talking to me? And I'm like, that can't be what he just said. So I put the barrels away. I turned back around. Well, yeah, I'm talking to you. And it was some guy jogging. It was on a headphones, and it was talking to somebody. And I laughed out loud because it was like, I could have sworn, because the person was yelling. And I thought it was yelling.
I haven't met anyone on that side of the street. I literally have not met anyone on that side of the street.
Yeah, they were running on the other side of the street. So I thought it was somebody over there. We had
Lynn.
Yeah, no. Well, we met somebody from the other side of the street, and then they moved away.
Oh, and then she was the person we met when we first moved here.
I met those folks during the storm.
Jose?
No idea.
Jose's the mailman. Juan is the guy that does our fertilizer. He lives right around the corner.
Fertilizer guy's awesome.
Super nice guy, little guy. He's super nice.
He's super nice.
It's just how I remember.
We like nice people. Do you want?
Yeah,
if you want to be our friends, be nice.
And then there's our friend Jen, her beautiful family.
Yeah, also very nice.
Right down the street. So Jen and Lenny actually. Not that we love them both. And those kids. Oh my God, those fucking kids.
Well, when your kids are older, they're people, right? And so when you see little kids that are like between 1 and 5 years old or whatever, you're like, oh, I remember my kid was that, and when my kids were that big, and they used to ask funny questions. I text Jen
all the time to tell her what a phenomenal job she's doing.
Yeah.
If you have a friend who's a mom with little kids or teenagers or children, any moms, like, message them, tell them they're doing a great job, because it is so hard. She has 2 young kids. She works full time, like, and I'm talking little. But like, there's not a mom out there that I don't think could use a pat on the back. Especially
I thought you meant something. I thought you were going to say something else. Ooh.
A spank on the ass?
I thought that's where you were going with
that.
Oh, maybe they'd like that too. I don't know.
Actually, we were watching a sex advice guy today
on TikTok.
Which
she'll put on the main screen. Yeah. And this guy's like, well.
So we can watch it together.
But he was like really like, well, sometimes the woman needs to be shown that the man is in control, so you have to whisper things in her ear when you're, and all this, and like, or they need to be handled in such a way that they will know that you are in control. And I'm like, Jesus. It was
I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah. See, that was the thing to me. I'm like, that's, I've seen, and that was the thing with me. Like, I never feel like I need to.
We are very different.
I don't need to feel. I don't ever need to feel like I'm the alpha male. Like, I don't need. Like, I don't need to feel like I'm the smartest person in the room, because I always think I am, because I'm like, whatever. Because I know stuff about turtles. That's why I think I'm the smartest person in the room, because that's all that really matters in life.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea, but I just no. But I don't ever feel the need to like be in control of every situation.
But do you understand that people who have like particularly for women, and this is like a whole issue that's been a problem. I mean, you can hear me go on my regular tirade about how like the feminist movement was like largely designed by the United States government to get more out of us in taxes. But
we talked about that the other night.
Yeah,
as a matter of fact,
but
it was discourse.
But add to that the fact that like we have so many responsibilities, so many people counting us. I mean, even if whether you're a stay-at-home mom or a working mom, 50 people come to you a day to say, where is this? And you just have it all memorized where everything is. And then they're like, it's not there. And then you're like, it's there. For example, I had this bag of essential oils. I thought I had left it at a hotel.
That's tuberculosis, by the way.
God willing. 9 months ago, I thought I had left it at a hotel. I think it was when we were looking at houses.
We were looking for houses on
the
East Coast.
Or something like that. And I thought that my essential oil bag had gotten left behind. And Doug had looked for it, couldn't find it. It was in the fucking glove box of the Jeep. Dude, some of those things are $35 a pop. So I was upset, and of course it's been in the glove box of the Jeep in the hot ass Florida garage for the last 9 months. But
yeah, but the last 9 months have been winter time, so it hasn't been the crazy heat.
It's still not ideal for essential oils. Anyway, at least it's back. But the point is, when you're a mom, you get asked how to do things a million times a day, and I think it can be really draining. So like for us, yes, it's great to hear that we're doing a great job and have a pat on the back from our friends, or just being told like, hey, you're doing a great job, and like, to give you honest feedback and stuff. Like, we try to keep it as real as possible. So anyway, I think a lot of moms are burnt out, and they like the idea of someone else being in control. Like, I don't want to have to pick a restaurant. I don't want to have to I don't want to pick the restaurant. I don't want to have to think. I want to just put aside this mom role that you wear that is so enormous. It's like how characters at Disney must feel. Like that you have this goddamn costume on, but they get to fucking take it off. Like, do you imagine?
Very true.
Like, they have to wear it for like an hour, then they get a 20-minute break, and then this, and then that, and the other thing. And listen, I'm sure it's still fucking awful, terrible experience for them. However, imagine that the amount of time they spend with their mouse suit on is the amount of time we spend with our mom suit off.
Right.
And because we never get a break. So like having your partner do pull out a dress and some heels and say, we're going to dinner, or come in the bedroom, I'm going to give you a massage, and like take it from there. Like, yeah, that's hot, and we like the idea of some of us, many of us, most of us like the idea of a man who can take control. Like there's I mean, it's not like you go you're in the bedroom and you're like, oh, let me read you some poetry. Do you consent to me touching you on the breast? No, you're not like that. But like,
if I sounded like that, you wouldn't want to have sex with me. You'd be like,
but
hello.
sometimes now
I'm like Julia Child up in
the
bedroom.
Like when we listened to the 9 Inch Nails night, you were going to town, putting things in all kinds of holes, and you spanked me, and I enjoyed that. Thank you. And I never complained about a spanking. If anything, I probably need it harder. I'm a very, very
so
bad
here's the
girl.
thing: from a guy standpoint,
I horrified everyone.
From a guy standpoint,
poor Jim. I threw myself at him today.
All right. So from a guy standpoint, you have got to be a gentleman, right, to a certain standpoint. But so if
No.
there's a fine line, because if I go pick out a
No.
dress and a pair of shoes and put it out, is that a controlling behavior? Because some people are controlling like that. You wear this, you need to look a certain way, you need to wear Brooks Brothers, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay,
But-
so herein lies the thing, and this is something
But
we
you
talked
have-
about. We touched on the other day in the podcast. I know you and I talked about. Is I believe that each person's satisfaction within a relationship is their own responsibility, and that is not just emotional satisfaction also, but it's both your own responsibility and the other person's responsibility. It's not their responsibility,
Right.
it's yours and theirs, and that comes from communication. So here we are. I have communicated this.
Yes.
I think I've been communicating this for a while. So while I understand that, like, all like rape culture and like PC and be sensitive and thoughtful, but notwithstanding our marital hate, I think we have established that everything's cool.
Right. No, because I think that
And-
that spins out of the relationship.
Well,
That's where you get to
no,
that good
dude,
place.
If you annoy me, I'm going to tell you not to fucking come. It's actually not when you annoy me. If you annoy me, I can, like, 5 minutes later fuck you. It's fine. But
Thank you.
you're welcome. But when you have bad energy, I'm like, get the fuck away from me. I will get up and, well, first of all, my guest room is like a spa. Like, it's amazing in there. And Doug was being good, so I let him take a nap there yesterday because he was very cranky.
So, yeah, no, it was a couple days ago. I was just like, it was funny. I was just
think it was
emotionally
yesterday.
drained.
It was yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Yeah, I
You
was
talked about the podcast.
emotionally. I was emotionally drained, and I was like physically drained. And then we talked about it, and I'm like, well, how do I get past this? Whatever. And there's certain things that energize me. So, and there was a
worked on
couple
that?
things that I wanted to talk about today that energized me as well. So.
All right. So
Anyway.
I want to.
So as far as the relationship goes, I think when you get to that sweet spot in the relationship,
But it's your
where-
responsibility to convey what you want.
right? Exactly.
And
exactly.
so I'm conveying to you, in America, that I like to be, a little manhandled
All right.
in the bedroom, and maybe.
By an old dude.
Oh, dude,
That's how I
I'm
know.
telling you, if I have a shot with Jim, I'm dropping you like a bad
Well,
habit.
he does have.
See, so they're having this whole trail they're adding, and they're naming it for the guy. By the way, they're having in Fort Myers, Lake Park, they're having a big Sanibel fundraiser Ding Darling fundraiser this month.
Yeah.
They do so much there. They just bought more land. It's just beautiful. It's an inexpensive place you can go with your whole family. And there's something for everybody there. I don't.
So this
see
is the
you
future
thinking-
site of the Jim Sprankle trail, which is pretty awesome. I
I think
love
so.
that.
Yeah, and he was just super nice guy, really
Yeah.
funny.
All of them
Couldn't
there
hear
were
well, but
amazing.
but I'm pretty loud. So, but then I'm in this room and it's like all echoey and shit.
So I came home. I googled the crap out. I'm thinking, because I want to go and have him sign a baseball, because I think that would be awesome. Because he was just a great guy. And then I start looking about. I Google him, and I'm thinking, he's got to have a baseball card or something from the '50s. Who knows? Like whatever. If you could get something like that and have him sign it, just because he was a great guy. It wasn't because I want to have a collectible or whatever, but. All you can
was so
find,
nice.
all you can find on him is about his carvings, his ducky toys. He's
Yeah,
written
but those
books
are
on how to make them.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
Those are unbelievable.
not a lot of people. Well, I shouldn't say this, because when I see talented people,
Yeah, no,
I
no,
am
no.
in
I
awe
was
of
like,
them.
fuck you, Jim. I didn't say fuck you, but I was like, so like, I was like, he's a pitcher, a professional baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
You're this phenomenal artist,
Phenomenal.
and you're a looker.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you have like?
leave some of that for
Why
the rest
can't
of
you
us?
be deaf and mute or stupid or something?
Yeah.
He laughed.
I said that to
That's right before- after you
my
told me
friend
about
Joanna,
Willie.
who's a blues guitarist out of Chicago, and she posted this picture. I'm like, could you leave something for the rest of us?
This is
She's
how I feel.
looks like a
Hello?
badass, and she's
Hello?
whatever.
Hello.
Yeah, leave some for the rest of us.
Hello. This is how I feel about you. Branding genius,
Not a genius.
musical god. We listened to
Musical god.
We listened to Perfectville in the car today.
You're
and
crying. You're crying,
I am
laughing
crying.
at it.
I
That
wasn't
was not
laughing. I was
nice.
crying. It's so well done. His voice just makes
Not
me
as good
so
as some of
happy.
the other stuff.
It's so good, and we tried to make a theme song from it today,
Yeah,
but
we're
I don't
gonna-
know if it's
we
gonna
got some
work
B-roll.
because
We
there's
took
a
some
lot
B-roll.
of footage of me looking unattractive, and I did not appreciate it.
And I had my Porter Wagner hair in the Jeep. It was just.
Yeah, but I just look super fat. I realize I am super fat, but I look super fat. Like it's
Well,
not a good
maybe
look.
we
I
can
look
put a
pregnant.
filter on that.
A filter on my
Put it
fat.
on, because that's living life that's raw. Wait, I thought we were supposed to be real.
I don't. It's just.
But I get what you're saying.
When I look at myself, I want to kill myself. I have about 9 reasons why I want to kill myself on a daily basis. I'm not doing any of those as a favor to you.
To me, because I'm so charming.
And by the way, the fact that I've gotten to whale-like proportions is a very small part of that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely part of it. It's really like it's like when you're dealing with the amount of crap that I am dealing with. When you're dealing with the amount of, it's not the big things that get you. It's not the lifetime of trauma. It's not the abuse. It's not the estrangement from your family. It's not your kids not talking to you. It's not your illness. It's not being fat. It's some idiot wrote something terrible on Facebook, and it's the final fucking straw. Actually, I just saw this whole thing where like this girl is writing these like Mother's Day cards for kids who are estranged from their mother, and they're all super passive aggressive, and like I had to respond to it, and you only have so many characters, and I'm overly verbose, but like I have a lot of friends who lost kids because their kids have died, and of course that's absolutely terrible. But it's I know that this sounds crazy, but it's almost the same thing. When you have kids that don't talk to you, where you're estranged from your children, it's the same thing. The difference is when your kid dies, you just want them to come back. And when your kid doesn't talk to you, you just wish you were dead. And that's it right there. So anyway, a big part of the reason why I've been suicidal for 10 years is because of my illness. And the reason I haven't killed myself has been my kids. But because my kids don't talk to me, it's hard. But, you know, they're a big part of the reason why I stick around. It's the people that would be hurt if I was gone. But it's like, for fuck's sake, I've been suffering for 10 years. Like, I don't deserve to suffer like this. And so anyway, this woman posted these cards on TikTok. It's in her Etsy shop. And I guess she means well, but I said, you know, if I got one of these for Mother's Day, I'm like on the verge of slitting my wrist at any other time, at any time. That's not how I would do it, but you know, that could happen. And I'm this close to the edge, and if I got a card like that from one of my kids in the mail, that would be it. I mean, this year I found out on Thanksgiving, I found out that my daughter got her doctorate, and I found out by a Google search. That's how I found out. Google search. So that was a pretty terrible day, and you know, it's just really hard. And there's a lot of people that are out there that are estranged from their families for whatever reason, and you know, you don't know what someone else's situation is. And there's a lot of people out there that, you know, have bitterness and resentment, and you know, I'm sure my kids have feelings about me, and you know,
but they get up.
So sorry.
They get up every day and make a conscious decision to not talk to you.
Well, yeah. Well, I know that, but what my point is that like
I'm saying that's a difference.
Everybody's situation is different. Everyone's situation is different. You don't know what that situation is, and then there's people out there that want to hurt other people. It would send something like that just to hurt them, and then not realize like somebody gets something like that and they fucking kill themselves. They're gonna feel terrible. Like that's the number one thing you think about is like, you know, like my friends, like the people that are actively a part of my life know that if I had an option to go for euthanasia, I would do it tomorrow because of this fucking awful disease. But it's not an option. But my kids wouldn't know that. Like they wouldn't know like, oh, she like did this because of, you know, whatever. But I mean, if I didn't say that like the stuff with the kids didn't push me, it's hard. So
a big factor.
Just, you know, like here's the thing. I realize I'm being like all like super personal here, but we said we were going to be real. This is what I want you guys to think about. You can have a lifetime of bad stuff, and then one bad thing, illness, kids leaving, you know, complicated divorces, parental alienation, illness, job loss, everything under the sun, and that's not what gets you. What gets you is some idiot being a dick on the internet. or like somebody like just cutting you off in traffic. Like, please, I beg you, be kind to other human beings. You do not know what they're going through, and be slow to anger and quick to forgive. And when they fucking cut you off in traffic, you say, fucking asshole, I wish you peace, love, and happiness. Say it over and over again till you feel better. Because if you're mad, you're not hurting them. You're only hurting yourself. And you don't know what's going on. You just don't know. You don't know. And, you know, the last thing anybody wants is to feel that responsibility. And it's actually funny. I remember when the kids were, it was actually my youngest daughter's birthday. We'd gone sledding, and she ran into some friends at the mountain, and they wanted to, not the mountain, the hill, and they wanted to sleep over. And one of them, the little girl, slept over, and they had a great time. I met the dad. He was a very nice man, and he had recently lost his job, and we knew some people in his field, and we were going to try to make some phone calls for him. So the little girl slept over, and later went home, and later that day, that little girl found her dad had hung himself. And, like, I met the guy for 5 minutes at my front door and 5 minutes at the mountain. Like, of course, I knew his life story by the time we were done. But for 5 minutes, and like, I can't help but think to myself, this was long before I was sick. So I wasn't like, oh, yeah, you should off yourself. Not that I would say that to anyone. But I kept wondering, like, what could I have said to him? What could I have said differently? Like, I say something that, you know, and obviously had its shit going on. And that's a really common reason for, you know, for men to commit suicide, is they can't provide for their families, especially if they read their life insurance policies. But, you know, I think you just don't know. And nobody wants to be responsible for that. Everybody's having a really hard time in the world. If we just start with ourselves, I know that there's, 3 of you guys, 2 of us, there's 5 of us. We just try to make the world a little bit better place. I promise you, it makes a difference. I know I make a difference in people's lives. I glorify them.
And I think that's. I think you actually get up every day and proactively do that. But I want to jump back to a couple of things. I would like to do some sort of on another episode, you know, talk about the emotional things that go through your mind, especially when you're a dad or the man of the house or whatever you call it. In the psychological like kind of stuff that you go through with that. Right, you know.
Well, because there's not enough support for anybody, and I think that's you know, it's equally true of men.
So, but getting back to your greeting card thing, right? I think, like, I've shopped for cards, right? I'm not buying you a card that says you do great laundry, and I know I leave a mess. You know, like, that's just not us, right? So there is a hole there for appropriate cards for different kinds of relationships, right? Like,
there is, but I will say this:
or Father's Day cards that don't have golf clubs on them, but this lady's cards that she was reading, they weren't coming from a place of healing. It wasn't coming from a place of love. It definitely felt like it was like kind of an opportunity to dig, and it wasn't. Now, if it was one thing, like if you wanted a card, if you wanted to write a card, and I'm going to fix this right here, put on my creative director hat. You want a card for an absentee, you know, like a mom that you don't talk to, whatever, and you know, I'm just thinking about you on Mother's Day. I wish things were different. You know, I'm going to always love you, but I know right now we can't, you know, have a relationship. Whatever. Something like that would be at least an acknowledgement, right? And it would be a nice acknowledgement, but not like this stuff, which is like, yeah, you're, you know, what, I don't know.
Thank you for giving birth to me. I hope that you can one day be the person you want to be. Shit like that. Like, yeah. It was just really awful.
No. So I think on the surface, it's probably a good idea to fill that void, but at the same time, I don't think this lady is doing it in any way, shape, or form.
I want to address that, though. So one of the things that's happened in my situation is that I have found out something like my daughter got her doctorate, or, sorry, I can't say that without crying, or engaged. At one point, one of the girls moved home, then moved out, and then moved home. And then I had another one who came home, said she wanted to move home, and then 2 days later changed her mind. And then, like, called me because she needed something, and then totally blew me off. And, like, the in and out is worse. Like, I wish I could go and get, like, hypnotized so I could forget being a mom.
No, that's not. No, you're a good mom.
But it's so traumatic because it's
it
over
really is.
and over again.
It's always, it's a daily occurrence. It's a daily occurrence.
You have nightmares. You have nightmares about it. You have nightmares about your kids. You have, it's just, and it's every minute of the day. You're thinking, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And you beat yourself up about the tiniest little thing. I don't know why I'm still talking about this, but somebody out there.
And there are a lot of other layers that factor
so
in there.
So much to it. There's a lot of other. You don't know why people's families aren't together. I'm not entirely sure why mine isn't. I do know some things, but I know people that I have a friend that I know very, very well, very well. I know the whole family. I know the mother, the father, the children, the whole 9 yards, and there's an estrangement situation. And it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you see it time and time and time again. You have to love your kids more than you hate your ex. There's, people have personality conflicts. I don't know. Like, there's definitely situations where I'll tell you, yeah, that person is a monster. That they said that to you or did that to you or whatever. But they may have changed. 1. 2, they're still your parent. And mark my words, my parents have not been kind to me. There have been times where they have been kind to me, but overall, not a great situation. And if either of them needed me, I would be there in a heartbeat. When my dad was in the hospital,
you were there with the bucket.
I was there with the bucket,
yeah.
heating up the shit. Although I was the last one, I was told not to come because he couldn't have company yet, even though everybody else had been.
Yeah,
but I would.
I don't know why I
there.
rang that. I didn't mean to ring that. That
seems
was
like a fitting time to ring it. But anyway, like, my point is, like, let's be kind to everybody. Let's forgive people. Let's forgive people. Let's unite people. Because, I don't know about you, but I'm so sick of this fucking division in this world. Like, I just want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to get along. Hey, listen, if having me in your life is a terrible thing, I don't want to, even for my kids, even much as it breaks my heart, if it's a terrible thing for them, I want them to do what they have to do for them. I want everybody to do what they need to do for themselves. But I can tell you that hanging on to anger is not the thing. So, I'm working, I still have some anger. Doug still has some anger. Yeah. We're working through it, usually with humor and inappropriate jokes.
Yeah,
but.
No, I mean, it's funny. My anger comes, I'm probably more mad at myself on a lot of cases than at
but
other
that's,
people.
We're both children of alcoholics, and the reality is that's what you do. You blame yourself for everything.
And depression is anger
turned
inward, which I learned from Tony Dow, by the way.
I don't know who Tony Dow is.
He's Wally on Leave It to Beaver. He did like an interview, and he was like, I guess he had a lot of problems with depression and things like that. So, anyways, it was just one of those stupid things that you pick up from somewhere, and I'm like, oh, that's why, that's why. And I'm really hard on myself. Like, I'm hard on myself. Like, I should, be a better painter. I should be a better dad. I should be a better husband. I should be a better cook. I always
definitely on the cooking.
Yeah. Well, I have my moments, but that the same thing. I want to be. I just have I have an expectation for myself to be at a certain level, whatever. And rarely do I ever do that. And especially when you screw up, you're doubly hard on yourself. But that's my wife. Right there. You could have asked for like a tissue, or I should have actually offered. See, there I am again. I'm being hard on myself. That I should have. Anyway, so you said you had nightmares about horrible things. I actually had a dream that woke me up last night. That
the one about
I was friends with Gene Simmons.
I'm telling you, Gene Simmons is not friends with anybody who doesn't talk about Gene Simmons 24 hours a day.
Well, there was like we do it like there was. Around their last concert, whatever, we were doing like a jam session. There was like we were on these big, tall, like pedestal things, and everybody was playing, and I was playing, but I wasn't part of the band.
Did you literally put yourself on a pedestal?
No, it was part of the stage set.
That's the kind of vibes you need to be bringing to your
life.
life.
Anyways, so I was sitting there, and I'm like, Gene, how do I get it? Because I didn't have his. I was gonna text him, but I didn't have his number. I said, put your number in here, and he's, no, I'll text you, and I'm like. I guess I know who was in charge here, Gene. So then I left, and I was like, kind of, screw this guy. But I was really good friends with him. But the thing is, in the dream, he became like one of my old friends.
Hang on a second.
Embodiment into that.
But your mindset was, he said he'll text me.
Yeah.
And where the place where your brain goes is, oh, I see who has the top hand here. He's not going to text me.
So you're gonna be friends with somebody?
No,
you be friends with somebody.
Stop. How about if we rephrase the things in their brain and assume that he's going to text you? If he doesn't text you, whatever. Or like, listen, 4 Agreements, baby. Great book. Get the audio book. 4 Agreements.
It's not that long.
Miguel Ruiz. You could read it on
Didn't
a train
Peter
ride.
Coyote like read the audiobook on that?
I think it was
The
him.
actor Peter Coyote.
I thought it was
sounded
him.
like Peter Coyote.
I
don't know if anybody knows. Like Google him.
I thought it was him, and I think
know
you
him.
get free credits on Audible. Like I think everybody gets a few if you have an Amazon, or they give you like a couple freebies. Anyway, or you might even be able to get it at your library on audiobook. It's called The 4 Agreements, and one of the things he says is don't assume anything. So unless somebody tells me to fuck off, I'm going to assume that they love me.
So you just corrected my behavior in a dream.
Well, I'm arguing that your negative thinking impacts every part of your life, and once it can acknowledge it, which you can't, because every time we talk about it, you make up some excuse as to why that shitty negative energy that you're bringing in your life. And I'm telling you, you have to replace that negative energy. So, like, instead of going to your office and getting aggravated with application after application after application, do a bunch of applications. And when you get fucking frustrated, walk away. Don't bring that energy to it. Come out and skim the pool, defile your wife, cook some snacks, go for a walk, get on the rowing machine, go in the sauna, play Nintendo, pick your nose, shove something up your ass. I don't give a fuck.
We saw that TikTok tonight.
Oh yeah, people are
Different
shoving all
X-rays.
kinds of crap up their asses. We'll talk about that.
That's a different.
I sent that to the
okay.
kids. So things
Not
to
that
do in
anybody
college.
has a history of
No, they don't.
doing
but
that,
you know
but
what? When
it's a cautionary tale, is what it is.
what
Don't
I'm telling
don't
you,
do this.
I have told all of you people not to let things go up your ass without a flange on it. So I got to tell the kids too.
Flange situations.
Don't put anything up your butt without a flange on it.
So I hear you loud and clear on the positive thinking, but there was something that buoyed me up today, and I didn't find out until I got home. This morning I shared a thing on LinkedIn, and it was a picture of Tom Hanks at an award show, like waving, like he's full of confidence. And I posted it said, confidence in the job market, applying for job. There's Tom Hanks, all at the top of his game, and then waiting for a reply was Forrest Gump looking bewildered sitting on a park bench. So like the two Tom Hanks together. So I posted that, and a couple of my work friends from my last job had shared it and shared nice statements saying like, if the greatest creative guy I've worked with, whatever. I mean, they didn't say that, but they said pretty close to that. And so I super appreciated that. They didn't have to do it. It's going to get me in front of a lot more people, and it wasn't something I asked for. It was they just did it. And one
So
of them,
can I just say this for the record though? What did we prove once again tonight?
that when you walk away, things happen.
When you walk away, things happen. And the other thing we proved is that your wife is always right. You just don't fucking listen to her, because I have been on you every day about your LinkedIn.
Yes, and I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work on like coming up with some clever, cool thing that
I
people
actually
can
thought
share.
of something.
What'd you think? What you got?
I
And
don't-
anybody out there has ideas, just let us know.
So I thought you could do something about like an old white dude looking for the old white dude box on like a pull down menu.
That's
You're
a
like,
riot. I didn't, but that's the thing. I don't want to stress I'm an old white dude, because that's
There's no avoid. Do you want to dye your hair?
No, but see, all right. So here's the thing: why does it actually should almost be illegal? Like
It should be
what your
illegal.
race, your sexual orientation
Yes,
is.
it should be.
What all
And
this stuff.
also, don't name your kids something fucked up. Freakonomics. Like first thing they talk about is that
Just
if you
don't name your
your
Oh yeah, there are no
don't-
CEOs.
I mean,
named,
if you're Gwyneth Paltrow, go ahead and name your kid Apple. That kid's never gonna work.
yeah, probably not.
But if you want your child to have like a prominent place in society and business,
No,
hate to tell you,
it's Thursday night, people, and guess what that means? Sprinklers just came on.
sprinkler time. Oh, I was just saying that you should name your kid Tom, Dick, or Harry if you want them to be successful.
That would be interesting.
I love Dick.
That's good for you, I guess. So this episode has been great. We've had laughs.
already 9:30.
We've had
Jesus.
tears. We've had sprinklers. We've had
Birds,
owls.
owls, just going fucking
We've
apeshit.
had dogs barking. We've had
So we did
joggers in the night.
we did our local news item. We covered the
We had one interesting thing that happened in Cape Coral at 4 this morning. You want to talk about that?
Oh, that was all of fucking Florida fuck our fucking lives at 4:30 this fucking morning.
Phone alert.
You think it's okay? Amber alert. Somebody's child was stolen.
Mike, is there a hurricane?
Whatever.
I'm up.
Hurricane, whatever.
Yeah.
Like we're there.
4 a.m.
I mean, I don't know that at 4 o'clock in the morning we're gonna, but like that, people leave for work. You might see them on the road, so it's a good time.
Yeah.
Listen, we will always.
Hey, if it's
we'll
enough,
always take an Amber alert. We'll always take a. Hey, there's a catastrophic. Well, I don't always like those because they tend to exaggerate. Like.
It was pretty catastrophic.
The Cat 5 was, but like we've had storms before that. Remember, we were supposed to take the boys to the airport one night. Their flight got delayed, and we got an alarm in the middle of the night about storms. It woke us all up.
Yeah.
Tornadoes. So I mean, I guess I got to tell you about tornadoes.
Yeah, they need to. So your point is moot.
Oh, that's just somebody revving their engine. I thought it was a hurricane warning, and that would have been perfect timing. So anyway, it was a fucking test of the emergency broadcast system.
Just a test.
They meant it to be on
in the
television, and it was at 4:45 or some fucking ridiculous time. And then the SpaceX thing.
Blowing up.
It blew up, but I think it was supposed to blow up. Like I think that it was. They were like
I
really
think
proud
it was.
that
Yeah,
got
but the
off
headline
the ground as a new model, and like they're just trying to make
buyer beware. The
actually,
headline.
That's a really great thing that these engineers did was, I think, so often we look at like a dream that we have, right? And like for example, Doug and I, we would love to get companies to sponsor us, like an RV company, so we could travel, or like get the Buffalo Bills to sponsor us. We could travel and follow them, or I would love to be able to just do the podcast and have Doug do his music and go to a healing clinic and help people. Like that's the fucking dream right there. That is the fucking dream. And well, obviously being healthy is a big part of it, and I would love for my kids to be back, but that's a whole other story. That's the fucking dream right there. But Rome wasn't built in a day. If it were, we would have hired their producers, although we don't have any money, but that's beside the point. It's going to take a while for us to get what we want, but we're proud of ourselves for every baby step. So like right now, like as long as I do a podcast, I'm so proud of myself. Like the other night, I felt so terrible. I'm so sorry, you guys. Maybe we'll do a bonus episode, but like I know, okay, I'm doing this, and I got the Twitter set up, and I got the Instagram set up. So the Twitter is at Marital Hate, and the Instagram is Marital Hate with Doug and Stacy, all spelled out. And then of course we have our YouTube, which is Marital Hate, and our Facebook, which you're on. Thank you so much for liking and sharing and commenting on all of them. It helps us so much. But like that's the thing. Everything we do, I'm proud of. God, the best part of all of this with the podcast, not just like the fact that we're like, consistently working on it and we're making some progress with it. I think the best part about the podcast has been the messages we've gotten from friends.
Right, yeah.
Phone calls, messages, text messages.
I got one from an ex-coworker this morning who lives, I believe, well, I'll just say in the Midwest. Just been watching, whatever, and it was nice. It was just nice to hear,
But it's funny because we
don't know who's watching.
We have the usual suspects who comment, and we always chat with them at the end, and they're fantastic. And then we have a bunch of people that'll contact us separately, and then they don't want to be affiliated with the podcast in any way. Can't say I blame you. And then we've got the ones, the lurkers, that they watch the videos and they don't say a word.
We know you're out there.
They don't say a word. Those are the ones I don't know about those guys. No, I just want to know. I just want to know who's watching because we have.
It was funny, even though we haven't really done a lot of promotion, whatever. The YouTube views are up there. We can't really see the views on Facebook, can we? Like how many views there's been?
I don't think that I can. I mean, like right now, I can see that there's 4
we
viewers.
can see how many viewers.
There's
live,
4
but
viewers
not,
right now, but and thank you, but we won't know how many saw it after that. Right, we can see it on YouTube, and we're gonna
and we leave it up on the
page.
We've
got to pick a podcasting software that will let us go to all the platforms at once. And in order to do live on TikTok, we have to have 1,000 followers. I believe also on Instagram, but I could be wrong. So some of you have to have so many followers before you can go live. I think it's YouTube and TikTok that we both have to have we have to have 1,000 followers. So we're a little ways out on all that stuff, but we are making progress and we're really proud of it. So my point is figure out what you want in life and take those baby steps to get there. And be kind to others and forgive quickly and don't get upset because it just makes you fucking miserable. And Yeah, I think that's all my words of wisdom today. So we had, so we covered the news. We covered news.
We did. We covered a lot of news.
Okay,
actually.
we've had enough. News today.
SpaceX
Fuck
and the
all
local.
that. We talked about plenty of animals.
Yeah.
Our cooking item is go to Costco and buy a charcuterie
Or
board.
the bubble room and get some cake or whatever.
Go to the bubble room and get some cake.
Whatever.
And,
or the boops or whatever.
It's called Boops. It's like their friends, and then
But
you can actually get the bubble room cheese bread, which is what we went there for, at Fort Myers.
Fort Myers, so it's a whole different
freezing,
thing. Yeah.
you put it in the oven.
But we did find there were two lazy flamingos. One in Sanibel, right where where you get on the island, which we
Right near the
been to.
Dairy Queen, which
and
is
then there was
also
another one further
for sale.
down.
Dairy Queen for sale.
Yeah, there's another one down near where it turns into Captiva, which was also
Gone.
banned.
The lots for sale.
Both of them are gone. The one further in when you first get on the island is still there. I don't know if they're going to reopen it, but it's like kind of one of those things. It's like all that stuff that made that island like vibrant. Like there's still a lot there. There's still some good stuff.
I just feel so bad for the people that live there, and the people that work there. It's even worse because these poor people, they pay a small fortune. It's like a $6 toll to go to the island. They drive from so far away. They would love to live on the island. They can't afford to.
And
a lot of them live in Lehigh.
It's funny, there was traffic getting off the island, so we went the back way, which takes you down like on the south coast of the island, and all of the resorts are like, a lot of them are quote unquote resorts, but they're probably like 5-6 story buildings with parking underneath, whatever. They're all going to be torn down. There's so many of them, one after the other.
Oh, and you should point out that while we were there looking through piles of debris, we did look for toilets.
We did. We looked all over. We found toilets. There were 2 toilets.
No seats.
No seats attached.
Last time we were there, we saw a dead armadillo that I wanted to bring home and a dead pelican that I wanted to bring home, but they wouldn't let me.
Yeah, we're not bringing either of those. But I got some interesting animal facts from our friend at the thing. There are no rattlesnakes on the
And
island.
I have found my next husband.
And you found your next husband. So, wait, are you just going to run off with him to a Red Roof Inn, or are you going to inform me, or how is this going to work, or is it only if I die?
2 things. The first thing is the man is 88 years old and I'm practically an invalid. I'm thinking throuple.
If he can teach me how to sculpt like that, I'm down.
I'm sorry.
Because he was phenomenal.
I don't want to go to the Red Roof Inn, but I do want an open marriage. Whereas I can teach an 80-year-old retired baseball player and artist.
80-year-old guy is going to have shaky hands. That might be a good thing for a lady, for a young lady.
I like that.
No, you do not. Take it back. You don't want an open marriage, or do you?
I just want one with Jim.
James D.
I would call him Mr. whatever his last name was. So would you.
And he's not even the bald guy.
No, I just love him. He was so sweet.
He was a good guy.
I also have a tremendous respect for that generation. I actually, and I know Bill O'Reilly, like, he's done some stuff or allegedly done some stuff, but he's a sharp guy. And he had written a book, The Last Great Generation. It was about my grandfather's generation. I really do. I think that
did he write that book about that? Because I thought Tom Brokaw did like the whole Greatest Generation, and did Tom Hanks?
I think he did it, The Last Great Generation. But I don't know. We could look it up.
But yeah, you got to hand it to that generation.
But my point is that this is like, they were the American dream. The wives were able to stay home with their children. They worked. You could work a average job.
Yeah, you could have one income. Yeah.
My grandparents had 6 freaking kids.
I don't know how you afford. Yeah.
My grandfather worked for the telephone company, which paid well, and then he fished on the weekends, usually Saturday, if not Saturday and Sunday. And my grandmother was home, but like they had one car, and like my grandmother didn't learn to drive until like way later. Then I had to teach her how to. I taught my grandmother how to drive a stick, but I was like a little kid because my dad would let me drive.
That's a riot. That's a riot.
On the rare occasions I saw him, he's like, "Hey, drive my car. I'm gonna just drink these 5 beers."
I don't know why he sent me that noise, but
although he was a hoot. I will tell you a funny story. I was with my dad one day, and I must have been about 13, and my dad's a big dude. He's like 6'1", and he's got an Octomom situation going on, and So my dad was driving my stepmother's Mazda RX-7.
Oh, that's a small
He's
car.
not quite as big back then as
What
he
year?
is now.
Well, this is like 80s, right?
80. I think it was an 83
That's
Mazda
tiny car,
RX-7.
yeah.
Anyway, it was older. It was cute though, and it was a perfect car for Arlene. My
Yeah, 'cause
dad looked
she's small,
ridiculous in
yeah,
it. So we're headed toward the Braga Bridge. So I guess that's 24. Headed toward Fall River, and there's gridlock, and so my dad gets out of the car and starts dancing in the road to Madonna. Absolutely hilarious. He can be so much fucking fun.
I would pay to see that.
I think he was drunk, but my dad will dance anytime, and he sings. Yeah. Anyway, he did that, and then he drove across the grass median in the Mazda RX-7. That car actually got stolen. They were at an adult film late one night at the Swansea Mall, and their car got stolen. It actually got stolen like more than once.
I don't know which is like.
There's so many parts of this story.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Do you know
I think we
night-
need to table that for another.
Oh yeah, it's
episode, 'cause
9:40.
that's
Oh
really
Jesus,
good.
we're almost 2 hours. Okay, you guys remind me to tell you about the night I moved in with my dad and my stepmom. That was funny. Okay, so we did story time, cooking, gratitude, and then we do audience participation. I am grateful that the Apple Store was a reasonably expensive fix.
I am grateful that you felt good enough to go and do things today.
I felt grateful for our amazing friends at Ding Darling, and my future husband.
I am grateful. Well, I'm grateful for those guys too, because that was
Yeah, but that's why we only do
that's the same
10.
thing. Okay,
You have
so
to make your own.
I am grateful for my coworkers spreading the Doug Gear love today, and that was very nice of them, and it meant a lot to me.
I am grateful for all of the cool stuff that we saw at Ding Darling today, because I always love to be in nature. You just drive through in the Jeep real slow. I don't even have to get out of the car. And because I walked into the gift shop, that was fucking crazy. And I'm like laying on the counter. They must be like, what is wrong with you? In the Apple Store, I have to sit in a chair like an old woman, but that's my life. Anyway, I'm grateful for all the animals that we saw there and that live there, and even the iguanas that are an invasive species, and all the lizards and the spoonbills and the pelicans and the gators and the crocodile that's over at the golf course. I'm grateful for that shit.
Excellent. I was grateful that for this podcast tonight. I thought that was I think you got a little raw and emotional. I thought that you probably needed that, especially after being upset just prior to the
I was like
podcast
talking for like
with
a half
that,
hour.
which is good. So I'm grateful that we have this to communicate,
And
things
plus,
and
the weed
ideas
had really
and things
kicked in.
like
Yeah,
that.
the weed's starting to kick in. Like a half hour, I'm going to be making nothing but jokes about how I'm mommy dear is.
You're gonna want some snacks.
I have some bubble room cake
Yeah.
waiting for me. You
Split
made some
that.
pasta.
I'm gonna draw a line down the middle of that. Can't eat more than 50%. Okay, you can have 55%. Whatever. Yes.
Well, I think since I have worse credit than you, I should get a discount. And because you have better credit than me and you've been more responsible than me, you should have a 1% surcharge.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. We're gonna look into that and see what the hell is going
Please
on
do.
with that, 'cause that's crazy.
And I believe we hear DeSantis signed into law that you molest a child 12 or under in this state, we're going to kill you. And also,
But I don't know if it
only
extended
has to
to
be
other
8
crimes.
people.
I don't know if that
No,
that
it's just-
extend just the pedophile thing.
just pedophilia ages. I don't know what else there is in the bill.
Yeah,
but the,
I don't. Yeah, I don't. Well, again,
But the key
hard to make
but the
a decision
key
on that one.
But the key point being, well, I'm not a death penalty person, but the key point being, it has passed. Do not molest a child in Florida, and they have been doing a fucking fantastic job of catching these people. And my favorite Florida cop is
geez.
retired. Our pal Huddy.
No, I thought you were talking about your.
I'm about to talk about him. My favorite Florida cop, of course, is our pal Huddy, but he's retired. And our new favorite Florida, my other favorite Florida cop is Grady Judd. That guy is hilarious. I actually said on TikTok the other day, I was like, I wish he was my dad.
Wow.
Because he's just so nonsense.
Well, I don't know. For you, those of you that don't know him, he's essentially the Dr. Phil of like cops, kind of a thing.
Well, he's also like
he's like a commissioner or something, but he'll like be like super.
He's also like Senator Jim Kennedy. Like, he just comes out with stuff. He had a Pikachu the other day.
Yeah, he was talking about the Pikachu and stuff like that. So I don't know if I don't know.
Hilarious.
He's I don't know. He's kind of a character. So look at him.
He's a character, but he's not like a boss hog type character.
Buford
like,
T. Justice.
I
don't know. I don't know what to make of him. But some of his stuff sure is funny. So
I'm trying to think of a cop that he makes you think of. He's like if Early Army and what was Don Knotts' character on?
Barney Fife.
And Barney, if Early Army and Barney Fife for one person, I don't know how to explain it, because he's very like, he's joking like all the time, but it's all very like.
But he's super serious.
Like,
we're gonna find you. You know, like he's got
like, you know
that
how you
drawl
can't tell if I'm serious or joking sometimes, or how he's serious. No, this guy, it's like, I wouldn't want to make him mad, or maybe I would.
He is an old dude.
I do like old dudes.
All right.
But I also said I want him to be my daddy. Let's just talk about my therapy session later. Okay, what else are we thankful for? We have like 2 more to go each. I am also thankful for that the people at the ballroom seem to be doing okay. It seems like everybody's got jobs according to management, and the management was very nice people. So I'm happy about that, and I'm happy that their business is coming back together. You can order their cookbook online. You will not regret it. The cheese bread alone is worth ordering it for. The cakes, oh my God, so good.
7 different kinds of cheeses.
I think the cookbook is like $40. If you need a gift for Mother's Day, we do not get any money from this. I don't even have this fucking cookbook. If you need a gift for Mother's Day, this is a perfect Mother's Day gift for anyone, because a lot of it's really easy. Like the cake mix, it's like you have to add stuff, but you adding ingredients to a box mix.
Yeah.
The bubble room book would be an absolutely amazing thing. If you want to go fucking crazy, you could fly in a bubble room cake to the tune of $200. And let me tell you something, you'll be like, I need 2 more cakes. It's just that fucking good. And then, so anyway, I'm grateful for Boops and Audra and Rachel.
Yep.
For the first time I couldn't remember Audra, the second time I couldn't remember Rachel. Go ahead. I knew it was A, and I knew it was R.
Thankful that it was a beautiful day.
I live in Southwest Florida. That seems to be.
It got hot. At one point, I'm like, what is the temp over there? And you're
like,
like, it's 91. And
we
I'm
had like
okay.
one day all year with bad weather. It was really bad, but we had one day all year with bad weather. Even the
I
rain,
can still be thankful
even
for
the
it.
rain and the hurricanes are beautiful in a way. It's just they just suck because everybody loses everything. Oh, by the way, our neighborhood under a boil water notice. It's not just you guys in Situate; it's everywhere. And if they're telling us to boil the water,
wait, say that. Say that again. Ready? Go ahead. Say what it is.
we're under a boil water. That's smart water. You just spit out like 35 cents worth of water.
I know but it's funny because it's a spit take. When you're talking about water, I'm drinking water. I don't feel I need to have to explain my comedy. If a spit take is not sophisticated
about that,
comedy.
please tell us if you laughed. Please tell us if you laughed. Cause
funny. I'm drinking water. You're talking about the water boy. I spit out the water. It's actually more funny because it's smart water because it makes no sense that I spit it out.
That is
funny.
The marital hate button.
All right.
It's starting to rain. Or it's the sprinkler.
It's probably the sprinklers because.
Oh, it's probably because we spit your water everywhere.
I'm sure that water is not still falling from the ceiling.
And then fell down on me. You and the sprinklers. You know what? Control your bodily fluids. That's not what I usually say. What? What?
That's my wife.
Ladies, you want to make your man feel special? Make him think you like it. You love it so much.
Just fake it till you make it, ladies.
Fake it till you get the ring, ladies.
That's just a drug.
That's right. Just looking to latch on to a man. But latch, I did.
Well,
Did you or did you not clean up a copious amount of vomit the other day?
it's my husbandly duty.
Latched on, I did.
Payback's a bitch.
So you're thankful for doing the podcast tonight. I am thankful for the cake that is going to be ready for us in a very near piece of future.
Piece of future.
Piece of future.
The piece of future. You've heard it here first.
I'm thankful for the piece of future today.
Yeah.
And
you
got to be thankful for one more thing, and then we have one thing we're always thankful for: our Magic 11.
Magic 11. I would. Oh God, I'm just grateful that we had a good day. I mean, it was like we met great people, we had great weather, we enjoyed the Jeep, we listened to crazy music, some of which was written by me, and got home and were able to do the podcast. So it was I would rate the day very high on a scale of 1 to 10.
It was a fucking good day. It's probably the best day we've had in a very long time.
We needed one. We really did.
We really did. Yesterday it wasn't pretty, and the day before that was not pretty. We like to take turns having a terrible time, and we'll like tappy. It's like a tag team match. We're like, tap, you can fall. Right. Can we just have one day? So today was the day that was good. Tomorrow's going to be a day that's good. Saturday's going to be a day that's good, although we'll miss you guys. Sunday's going to be a day that's good, and then we'll see you on Monday. But our final thing that we're thankful for is all of you who come every night, and anybody who's watching even for the first time tonight. You interacted with us, liked, commented, shared. It does, especially shared, does so much to help us because we're trying to grow so we can do more. And we're getting better all the time. We're worse, but we're working on it. What are you doing? Shut that off. So we just want to talk to our friends right now. You guys are our favorite, but we are, like, again, we're so thankful for all of you. And if you're here, even if you don't know us, you're our friend now. So be our friend. We love you.
It's like a cult.
It's like, you know, I'm working on the cult still. It's part of the whole plan. Our friend, my friend Ann back home says that we're looking good kids. I bet you're looking good, Ann.
Well, we got a little sun today. I don't know if you noticed.
We did.
A little pink.
Little pink. I think Ann is like, she's like a little hottie.
Oh.
Wait, she's coming to visit, so you'll see her. There's our friend Jeff. We
don't want any ugly people coming.
Local Cape Coral guy. Sorry.
Jeffy.
I don't know if you got woke up this morning, Jeff, but that sucks. I'm so sorry. We are up late after the podcast, so our mornings are a little slow lately. We need that extra hour. The problem is, it wasn't the fact that you woke up.
It was just
the fact that you can't get back to sleep after, because we're old.
Like,
it takes us effort to get to sleep.
My Mac is about to shut off, so
we're not about to. Yeah, but anyway, Jeff, we hope that you didn't have to wake up super early, or that you were able to get back to sleep. We were grouchy because we couldn't get back to sleep, and we probably lost an hour that we needed. Anyway, hey Tracy, I want to hear all about the new job.
And we want to hear about how you mess with people at funerals, because that sounds like a good time.
Oh, I like to fuck with people at funerals. You have to come to my funeral and fuck with people. It's probably going to be online.
We're going to play Pop Goes the Weasel
and have like a pre-recorded video and have Doug play it for you. And he'll tell you if he had sex with my dead body or not. If he says he didn't, you guys have to yell at him. He has to have sex with my dead body.
I never signed on to this at all.
I have to be a lesbian?
You did sign on to that.
Yeah, I'm
You
totally
agreed with that. I've never agreed to the
Girls
the other.
kiss better than boys.
Oh, well.
I totally want to fuck with people so bad at funerals. Again, for sure. A+ on the flamingos, by the way. They are very well centered. I don't know what happened. We didn't even touch them. I would like to go back for just a moment.
This Mac is running out of battery. Okay. So you better hurry up.
My funeral, I told everyone I'm going to haunt them. You know how like people get a bird or like a butterfly and they're like, oh, it's my loved one. No, dicks. I will haunt you all with dicks. There will be dicks places and you'll be like, oh, Stacey's thinking of me. She gave me a dick. Anyway, something to look forward to. I'm glad the flamingos are in your point. My nephew was an MLB player who lives in Fort Lauderdale. I can talk to him. He hasn't played in 12 years, but perhaps he can find your friend who lost his Babe Ruth. Yeah, he probably can't get him a Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
But any balls like signed by, players, like I think that it just, I don't know, I think it would mean a lot to him.
I think I'm going to get a ball, sign it, and give it to him. It would be the only one in existence.
I don't know, maybe we can get him some. So I'm going to put that, I think I'm going to put it on TikTok. It wasn't a Ted Williams baseball. It was like a whole collection of baseballs.
Signed by presidents, Ty Cobb, I think he had Lou Gehrig, he had Babe Ruth, guarantee you other stuff.
My friend Todd says when you're feeling like alone like that, please call me and I will be your kid if you need to. That would be weird.
If there's diapers involved with that, Todd.
I'm not down with that.
Yeah, that's not going to be
I do
good.
appreciate that, Todd. That's so nice of you to say.
Bounds.
The unfortunate problem with me, I give a great pep talk. I can fucking help anybody with any fucking problem. It's crazy. But the only person that can cheer me up is me. Although, actually, I do have 3 people in my life that do a decent job. 4, kind of. Zach. Zach can usually talk me off the ledge. Darlene.
Yes.
Christina.
Yeah.
Andrea.
And not me. Because I feel too much of your pain to be able to pull you out usually. Although I do put on ridiculous outfits.
Yeah, but you also go to the dark place,
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
nature, and so,
Yeah.
you're like, let's go let's go there. And I'm like, this is what our marriage looks like. Doug's like, I live in this dark place over here. And I'm like, okay, I live in this sunshiny place. Florida.
Oh, we're going to run out of battery here. So
And I'm
you can tell the story.
pulling him in this direction, and he does not enjoy it. And but when I'm down, I will fall into a pit of despair.
Or disrepair.
I met Gene Simmons on my wedding night. This asshole knew I just got married. He got in the elevator and closed the doors on my husband and I.
When I first read that,
he's a self-involved dick.
when I read that in, I thought he got in the elevator and you got in the elevator and they closed it on your husband, so he was in there like in a bad
He would do
scenario.
that.
Yeah, he'd totally do that. That guy.
He's he has a show.
I want him to be a
Gene
good guy.
Simmons Family Jewels,
Yeah.
but he's really very
I
self-involved.
want him to be a good guy.
But
I
he's
don't know
very
that he is.
self-involved.
He's an interesting dude because
He's
came
very
here,
self-involved.
but yeah, I think he's
Yep, it wasn't out of the ordinary to be up that early. Yeah, now we used to
Jeff.
go to
What are you, a
bed-
milkman?
We used to get up that
who gets
early,
up
but
at
with the podcast,
4?
we've been sleeping.
Look at that.
We've been
4.
sleeping into
No.
I used to get up at 6 every day.
6, yeah, no problem. 6,
But
4, no,
4:45,
no bueno.
we need that solid block of time. But for a while there, I was waking up at 4, but that's not when we were doing the podcast. The podcast keeps us busy. Anyway,
Well,
I don't know. He's little and probably wouldn't know what to do. I don't know what that means.
is that about Gene Simmons
Oh,
or
I have
about?
no idea.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about, Ann, but we'll talk this week. I'm retired, so I don't have to sleep if I don't want to. Yeah, well, I'm retired too, Jeff, and I kind of sleep when I want to or I need to, but
Daddy needs rest. I gotta tell you.
but we try to keep a somewhat regular schedule because if we nap during the day, we're not. Well, Doug won't. I have narcolepsy; I can sleep anytime. But I need
I can't have
I
caffeine
need
in the
noise. I
afternoon.
need
Can't
noise
have it.
if I want to sleep, and it bothers him. And
marital hate.
It's
marital hate.
yeah.
So that's good.
That's me ringing the bell. She means Gene
Simmons,
Simmons. It's
he's-
fucking bad.
I think she's talking about his little thingy thing.
She's saying
Day
he has
napper.
a small wiener. There
Oh.
you go. A day napper. I like that. Just don't be a night pooper and you're fine.
Oh, I have this whole night pooper thing.
The battery's gonna die. This is our longest podcast yet. We're not sure if we're sorry or if you're welcome, but we
Well,
love
the
you
one
guys.
night I don't bring the charger out.
All right.
The red light comes out.
We love you guys. Have a good night.
Thanks for everything. Bye.